Okay. We should be good. Hello everyone, it's your favorite programming error that just refuses to be fixed code here. And welcome back to You Know What. I'm not gonna waste your time and I'm gonna open up DDLC right now. Because Club Meetings episode 44 is here. And it would be a shame to miss out on that. So, let's boot it up. And then... Spinne, congrats on being first, by the way. I'll go ahead and go through this real quick so we can actually have BGM before we talk about anything else. Doki Doki Club Meetings is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated in any way with Team Salvado. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Game files for Doki Literature Club are required to play this mod and can be downloaded for free at ddlc.moe or on Steam. Please consult the readme.txt contained in the mod download for more information. By playing DDCM episode 44, you agree that you have completed Doki Doki Literature Club and accept any spoilers contained within. I agree. Splash text? Oh, it's back on, finally. Not like it was on break. Also, Neon Gabe, hello to both of you, and... Whoa. That streak is actually just insane. Seriously, Gabe, tell me, how do you do that? How do you build such a massive streak? I know Spinne has been able to do it before too, before it broke. I feel like whenever I'm starting to build up a streak, I always end up missing one stream eventually, and then the streak resets, and I'm like, ah, damn it, there it goes again. Honestly, it is genuinely impressive to me that you somehow managed to keep that much of a streak going. How? And why? It can't be worth it. But I do appreciate it. I really do. I'll lower the BGM a little bit, because again, I know that some of my voices are a bit more on the quiet side, so... there is that. No idea, honestly. Okay. So you don't know either. Well, that's good to know. And hi, Dormuse. It is indeed time to meet some clubs. And yes, you are right. Some clubs, not just one club. After all, the fencing club is also a thing now. We are, in fact, gonna be meeting at least 2 clubs. Insane to think about. Curious to see how this one's gonna go. Now then. I'm in. Alright, last time Miss Ida disabled the world.bat thingy. Oh, yeah, there she was. Memory failsafe. Messing around with everything, restore functionality immediately. Monica Yuri, if assembly is required. Wow. What did she do? And MC somehow, I guess MC noticed, because MC, either that or he just woke up from a nightmare like he always does. But I feel like MC might have noticed because he's club president and all that. Oh man, you're finally back. He says finally, wait. Does that mean in between the previous episode and this episode was World.bat completely disabled for the entire duration in between episode releases, which was like a week? Man, shame. Shame for everyone in here. Well, I guess most people wouldn't notice, but... thank goodness. I have been in absolute hell for... I actually don't know how long I was there. Oh, and right, the data nightmare thingy as well. MC didn't just notice, MC suffered like hell for this week. He did not sign up for this. MC did not sign up for this when he became club president. Oh god. Monica did complain about this stuff before, and yeah, this is, oh, fun. It was exactly like Monica described. It was a whirling nightmare of too bright color and screeching, awful sound. Monica used to put up with that all the time? That would drive me insane if it went on like that for very long, I think. I wanted to scream out for someone to help me, but I knew that no one would hear. Well, no time to talk about the broken world now. I have no idea what all of that code we saw at the beginning was, but Monica needs to hear about this. It seems like something is broken or something happened about Miss Ida. I should probably hurry. I don't like to mess around when it comes to game stuff. Maybe don't mess with anything for a bit. For a week instead of experiencing his usual school experience and so on with everybody else? Probably, yes. Probably, yes. I mean, nobody else would notice if the world was paused, right? Only the club president would know. Also, it's Rhea! Rhea's back! And it's her birthday! Happy birthday, dear Rhea. Happy birthday to you. The club applauds and cheers for Rhea. The return! She has returned, yes. There shall be no escape. Oh boy, we haven't seen her in a while. Do I even remember? Again, she also was high energy kind of voice. I think... Ooh, it's hard. I think... I know I went like straight to my Sayori voice and then deviated from that somehow. That was my thought process. Stream a bit longer than I could have rated. Shame. Shame on you. Nah, I won't hold that against you, obviously. You wanted to end stream. You did say you had like a headache coming on, right? So, makes sense to end it. I think I had like the high energy voice for her, but a bit nervous. There is no forgiveness. No, none here.
Thanks, everyone. The Merry Christmas to you.
Right, and again, for the side characters, I'm not sure I'll be able to remember voices, because they don't if the characters aren't important enough to have sprites, do I really have to remember the voices? It's been so long, these characters have come up already, they have come up, but I don't recall. It's been... When did these characters last come up? Were they only in the first episode of the season? No, the second episode, I think, right? I think the first episode didn't feature Rhea at all. But yeah, they didn't come up again. They didn't come up again since they were shown once and then not again. It's horrible. Kind of random voices, personally. First or second, yeah, probably. I think it was the second one because I was actually I seem to remember that I was sad that Rhea didn't show up in the first episode. Right? Have mercy on me for not raiding you, my lord. There is no mercy. But yeah, I hope your headache is not as intense. Like after a little bit of a step back from the stream, it should hopefully, I think, be better. I imagine, maybe hydrate. Maybe that'll help. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna remember all their voices since, again, they've only shown up once before. I doubt they'll be constantly recurring characters.
A delightful birthday to you, Rhea. Happy birthday, chair lady. What year is it for you? 18 or 19? She's 19 this year. Last year as a teenager. Feeling like you're getting old? Maybe, but I also feel like I'm ready to be getting a little older. Feels like I've been a teenager forever.
She has! All of them have been teenagers forever. Yeah, I know that feeling. Just wish I could hurry up and graduate, but I have another year after this one. I am so done with this place. Time of stream I forget to drink, that's why I nearly have no breaks in mysteries. Ah, see, that's where redeems could come in handy. Stuff like a hydration reminder. No, please.
I feel like you're just saying that because of your midterm results, Michael.
Hey, this is supposed to be a non-chemistry place. You promised.
I didn't say anything about chemistry.
Ugh. You should simply study harder. Like it's that easy.
It's easy for Cass or Jury. Studying isn't that easy for me, I just have to do it a lot.
Chemistry, no. The second Rhea shows up on screen, the Rhea puns get reignited in full force. Reignited, one might even say. Oh boy. What's up with the Rhea jokes? It's a thing. Yeah, reignited, there it is. Don't question it, it's an inside joke that has been going on for longer than I've been a part of the club meetings community. See, I wasn't born into this joke. I merely adapted the Rhea puns. Some were molded by them. Surprisingly many.
Regardless of its difficulty, you must study more than you have, Michael, if you wish to graduate. Well, that's not a problem for our club chair, is it? You're certainly on track to graduate this year, yes? Yeah, of course. But enough about me. Here to the literature stuff. Did everyone upload their poems to the club portal?
There is general nodding.
I had a little bit of trouble, so I brought mine on paper. It's great. Why don't we start with yours then? And Miss Ida can start getting the portal ones ready for display. I'll get right to it. Oh, and Rhea? Yes? Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Miss Ida. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, Mume, whenever you're ready. Okay, my poem is called The Circle Board.
Oh my god, are we actually gonna get a shit ton of poems this time? Both from the old and new literature club? Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna experience poem overload. Merry Christmas. No. There's such a thing as too much. Okay, we don't get to see all them poems. I was gonna say, that would be a whole bunch of poetry to get through. The living room is empty. Monica, it's me. Open up. It's important. Hey. Should I answer it? This isn't really my house. I guess it's probably someone who knows Monica. Oh, hey, MC. I haven't seen you since we were working on Kenzo's car last summer. Oh, yeah, that was fun. Sorry, I kind of forgot you were living here. Oh, don't worry about it. I forget I'm living here sometimes. Is Monica around? I have no idea. I know I'm living in her house, but honestly, I try to give her plenty of space. If I had to guess, I think she'd still be asleep. Well, I think I'm going to have to wake her up. Whoa, is everything alright? I think so, it's just a time-sensitive family thing, I guess. I see. Well, her room is right down there. Thanks. Man, she's really fast asleep. Hey, Monica, wake up. Wow, absolutely nothing. She really conks out. MC shakes Monica slightly. Hey.
MC, why are you in my room?
MC lowers his voice to a whisper. Kind of a game emergency.
Oh, give me a second to get dressed and I'll meet you outside. Need to make sure that Ryan's not going to hear.
Makes sense. I'll be out there.
Yep, just give me a second. Alright.
I didn't really notice on the way in, but your house is fancy. Indeed it is.
It's not really as fancy as it looks. I'll show you what I mean sometime when Ryan's not around. Now, what's up? I don't want to waste time if it's a game emergency.
Well, here's the recap. So, then I came straight here.
MC, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Here, do this in the console.
Monica types something into her phone and shows it to MC. Let me see. Enabled auth challenge. Challenge pass enabled. Done. Whoa, what happened? Feel like my memory's a bit weird now, but I think it worked.
Good, that should keep you safe in case the game goes down. Did the password show up as asterisks?
Yeah.
Good, remind me to change it anyway once we change presidents today, just in case. Again, I'm sorry you had to go through that. What is Miss Ida doing, I wonder?
It was Miss Ida?
Yeah, the commands you saw mean Miss Ida did something using her special computer that links to the real internet. Those computers all have the ability to access the DDLC command console and affect the sim. Just like if you were club president, only you have to manually type it in. But you have to know the coding system. I thought only I and Yuri knew my constructed language well enough to do anything meaningful. It would take anyone else a ton of time to figure it out.
Unless they were really smart and curious.
Good point. But still, why? It can't just be curiosity. She has to have some kind of reason for doing it.
For some reason it seems like you're not considering just asking her, which seems like the obvious thing to do.
I mean, obviously I'm going to ask her eventually, but I prefer to know what the correct answer is before I ask her.
But why? If you know the answer, what's the point in asking? Just ask away. Missed opportunity to repeatedly shut down the game and start it up again before Monica did that. I do wonder if there is special dialogue for doing that. I do wonder. I may or may not have to try it out after I'm through, if I remember.
I prefer to...
Yeah.
There are always other ways to find out.
You can be really scary sometimes, Monica.
Yes, I get that a lot. But we're talking about a thing where, if we're not careful with it, we could destroy our whole world and everyone in it. You'll forgive me for being a little paranoid about it.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I'm going to look into it. Hopefully I'll know more by the time the club meets later. Are you going to be okay until then? If you want, we could call everyone together and move it back to me early. I know that being conscious while the simulation is disabled is not great for your mental health.
I'm not going to say it was sunshine and roses, but it actually wasn't quite that bad. A feeling there might be. If you're okay with torturing MC, just this once, I'm okay with it. So what happened, Apocalypse? Right, basically at the end of the previous episode, the entire world got shut down, and it remained shut down until we opened up the new episode today. And anyone who is club president will be conscious while the entire world is gone. And being conscious in that nothingness is a horrible data nightmare full of screeching, bright colors, whatever. Basically, MC had to suffer for like a whole week. MC suffered in an endless void of torture for a whole week until we started this episode. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, so that's what happened. All thanks to his old teacher. Haha. I don't think Miss Ida knew what her little escapade would entail. I think if Miss Ida knew what she did to MC, she wouldn't have done it. But oh god, she did it. It wasn't quite that bad. Knowing what it was, and that you had gone through the same thing before, helped a lot. And knowing that it would end eventually, that helped too. Definitely wouldn't want to repeat the experience very many times though, or for very long.
No. Do you need a ride back? How did you get here?
Yeah, I took a taxi over. I could use a ride.
Sure thing, come on, let me get my car.
Your boyfriend going to be okay with it?
I'm not even dignifying that with a response.
Oh, you guys are at the stage where you trust each other implicitly, huh?
One more of those and you're walking home.
Okay, I'm smart enough to know when to stop. Is he though? We're back to the hot girl club. Look at the hot girl club. Best members on the very left.
So, things seem to be going pretty well then. When are you going to make a move on her?
I'm not going to be making any moves on her.
Why not?
It's just Monica. Hi. Hello. Welcome in. Why? What's with the laughter? Can we not appreciate the hot girl club's hottest member?
If I were in the same position, I would practically be offended if you didn't try something.
You would be offended. You would be offended, Ayami. The quote. Yeah. Got a sultry voice for this girl. Can't I do any other voice for Ayami, though? I can't. But you're different to most girls. And yeah, I have some insane quotes. In fact, you're free to try it out. Type exclamation mark quote to get a random one, or exclamation mark quote and then a number to get a specific one. If you're curious. Though I assume there is some horrible stuff in there still. Monica's a little more closed off. I don't think she's the type of girl you can just put moves on.
What, do you have a crush on her too now, Kagami? Is she that super special?
Oh, totally. Going to steal her before Ryan can muster up the courage to do anything is my master plan.
Hear that, Ryan? You better get a move on before Kagami steals your girl.
Might as well not bother if Kagami's interested. I'd have no chance then. But seriously, as someone who's gotten kinda close to her as a friend recently, she is pretty closed off. Too horny in this channel. I think there are some quotes that aren't horny. And even the horny ones are usually out of context. Seriously, most of them at least, I think. Even to people who are her friends, she can be closed off. She definitely doesn't trust people as a rule. I think she's always kind of been the person who likes to know more about other people than she gives out about herself. Yeah, I definitely agree. She's always asking me questions about myself when we bump into each other in the house. But the instant I change the topic to her, she starts giving really short answers. Or remembering that she needs to do something else. At least she told me her family problem she had today was no big deal after all, I guess. Sure. It's true though, they are usually out of context. And not really sex related if you knew the context. Please, you gotta believe me. Please. There is no saving me, is there?
Well, she's a tough nut to crack, it sounds like. But I have confidence in you. You'll be in that immaculate, stylish dress before you know it.
I'll settle for just getting to know her a little better first, thanks.
You are annoyingly chivalrous.
You really do move a lot faster than most people, Aya. Besides, I have faith in Ryan. That whole chivalrous stick gives him a serious game, in my opinion.
As long as he doesn't try the whole miss thing with her, that's the kiss of death.
I'll have you know that I actually do call her Miss. In fact, I've decided I'm going to call only her Miss. And furthermore, every time I call her Miss, she blushes or turns away. Oh boy! That's so fucking cute, you heartbreaker. Go get her. I told you he had serious game.
She's probably blushing despite seriously cringing inside. I still say no sane woman alive could find that attractive.
Anyway, to change the topic from my situation, how'd the thing go with your brother, Kagami? Oh, it went alright, I think. He promised he'd start therapy, and his first session is kinda soon, I think. He has been acting even more tired and weird this week, but I think he kind of emotionally crashed out. Yeah, that makes sense. Poor guy, he's always seemed pretty even keel. He is, but if something bad enough happens to you, anyone can be shaken up. Anyway, so Yori's going to make sure he actually goes to his appointment and text me when it's done. This whole thing seems to have brought you closer to Sayori. I'm not sure about closer, but we're talking a lot more now at least. Thanks to Monica.
Back to her again. I swear it seems like that girl has her hands in everything.
She's really nice though. You should meet her sometime. I'm having lunch today with her and one of her other friends. You should come along, I'm sure she won't mind.
Thanks for the offer, girlie, but I have my own dinner plans tonight. My boyfriend is coming to visit.
What? All of them?
You shut up. And you, Ryan, stop thinking of whatever it is you're thinking.
I wasn't thinking anything.
Good, keep it that way. Anyway, no, my actual boyfriend, who I do have a relationship with, is coming to visit. So, we're going to hang out.
So he's really cool with all the other guys?
Yes, he's really cool with it. Don't be such a prude.
Don't worry, Ryan, she's only being like that because she's afraid she's not okay with it.
Shut up, you can't just say that.
I can if it's true. I hope you enjoy your time with your man then. Anyway, I'd invite Ryan to the lunch too. But he can eat meals with Monica anytime he wants. I hear she even cooks for him. Come on, it's not like that. Sure. But what if it actually is like that? I have no idea how I've survived hanging out with you guys for this long. Yay! MC therapy, it's finally time! Well, I'm not going to say I wasn't surprised. I believe everyone can benefit from therapy, but I wouldn't have expected you to try. Besides the fact that men as a group tend to be therapy averse, I've seen you be there for Sayori, and you've always seemed confident in your ability to handle your issues alone. Yeah, honestly, I still kind of am. It got to the point where some people I care about really wanted me to do it. If it were just up to me, I probably wouldn't be here. Well, as it turns out, it is just up to you. No one can make you come here. I know, it's just... I promised them I would. Well, I promised that if you wouldn't otherwise be here. I guess I just wanted them to feel a little better about things. You know, I think I understand. But usually if people we care about want us to go to therapy, there's at least some reason for it. And I assume that, since you actually promised them to come, you thought they had at least some argument. Yeah, they definitely have an argument for it. I just don't think it's necessary. I get why they think it's necessary, it's just that I don't think it is. And what is it exactly that they think makes it necessary for you to come to therapy? Well, I do have some trouble sleeping. And why is that? Come on, dog. You're Sayori's therapist too. You know why. No, in fact, I don't. I would never confirm I knew or didn't know anything a patient told me in confidence. In your case, Sayori has made it clear she's fine with me discussing what she says in therapy with you as part of her process. But despite that, I don't know why you have trouble sleeping. I assume that if you're saying I should know because I'm Sayori's therapist, it has something to do with your witnessing her suicide attempt. But even that is a broad topic. There are a lot of different kinds of trauma that can bring you. and a lot of different ways that can stop you from sleeping. So let's start with, how is it that you can't sleep? Trouble getting to sleep in the first place? Trouble staying asleep? Well, nightmares, I guess. I have really bad nightmares about it. I wake up in a sweat and really afraid, like my heart's beating a million times a minute. And so it makes me kind of afraid to go to sleep, because I'm always worried about having a nightmare. Very understandable. Is it? Kind of feel like I shouldn't be having such terrible nightmares all this time later. Is there some objective standard by which we evaluate when the cutoff point is for terrible nightmares? I guess not, but it just feels like it's been too long. Too long for what? Just too long since the whole thing with Sayori happened. It feels like something I should have... It feels like something I should have moved past by now. Shouldn't it be should have moved past by now? Shouldn't there be a D in there? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe, this has probably been pointed out by many people already, to be fair. This feels like something pretty straightforward. So I'm not sure if I deserve the point for that. I assume that Tormuse or whoever else played this already sniped it. But I'm pointing it out anyway. Maybe not. Could be +1. Could be. We'll have to see if Kaylee shows up later. I did kind of drop the ball on announcing the stream ahead of time today. Because of the length of time? Yeah. So why hasn't it, do you think? I don't know. You're the professional. I was kind of hoping you could tell me. Well, I'm a professional, but I'm also not you. It's your brain, so to speak, so you have to tell me. Tell me this, though. Do you have problems other than with sleep? Yeah? Sometimes I'll get really bad panic attacks when things happen that remind me of that day. And what's that like? Just intense fear, a crushing feeling in my chest, a feeling like I have to get away and hide from something. And your heart going a million beats per minute again? Yeah? Yeah, that certainly sounds like a panic attack. And so they happen when you remember Sayori's suicide attempt? Yeah? I see. Well, usually I'd like you to answer why you think this happens to you, because even if you're not conscious of it, you have better access to that information. But since you asked me what I think about why time hasn't fixed it, think of a broken bone. Bones are sturdy things that can naturally heal if you let them. But you have to set the bone for it to heal correctly. If you just break the bone and don't set it, it can't ever quite heal. And more than that, if it tries to heal, it won't be able to do so correctly and might even cause more pain and dysfunction than being normally broken. If I had to guess, I'd say something similar happened to you. You've never really confronted the trauma you have until now. I'm not sure why you're doing so now, but you are. My sister thinks it's because prior to now, I felt I couldn't confront it, because I had to be strong for Sayori all the time. But now that she can stand emotionally on her own, I have the mental ability to think about my own trauma. And what do you think of that theory? I'm not sure about it. I don't think I'd willfully choose to think about my own trauma. I'm trying not to. Really? Why would that be? Tormuse, anything going on in your life? Anything broken bone related? Couldn't be. You'd think you'd have talked about that at least once by now. Which you totally haven't. Ah. No. Hey, at least bones do heal. There is the good thing. At least bones are not only sturdy, but also perfectly capable of healing. Again, as the therapist said, they have to be set, though, for them to heal correctly. But as long as they are good at healing. Maybe, but you don't willfully choose to have nightmares or be panicked by stimuli relating to your trauma either. Sayori speaks a good deal about the relationship between you and your sister. You're not going to tell me You're not going to tell Sayori everything that happens in our sessions, are you? Of course not, unless you want me to. Sayori explicitly wanted me to, if I thought it would be helpful to you. I'm not sure I'm ready to say I'm okay with the other way around. You don't ever have to be okay with that. I made it very clear to her that I'd normally recommend you keep your sessions private, and she shouldn't expect to hear about what you tell me. So my recommendation is, in fact, to keep it private unless you feel an overwhelming desire to have me tell Sayori. Yeah, I don't. I just kinda need my own space to talk about this, I guess. So, tell me about your sister. Long story. We've got time.
That's all for today, guys. We really are a little behind, so please try to do the exercises for Chapter 7. I know it's a lot to get done, but I promise it'll make the end of the semester a lot easier for you. Bye now, be safe out there and make good choices.
The classroom quickly empties out.
Now, let's see. Next class has its lesson plan prepped. All the lab stuff is where it belongs, the board's wiped off. Anything I'm forgetting? Yes, at least one thing.
Hi! Miss Ina, you in trouble! You tortured MC and you didn't know?
So I guess you finally had the time to come talk to me about things. You tampered with the World.Bat system. That puts us all at risk. I should not have had to do that to get your attention. You've been putting me off and trying to dodge me for months. And besides, I wasn't careless. I figured out roughly how it works. All of how it works? Yes, all of how it works. And I figured out how to disable it without too much fuss. No fuss? Do you realize what happens when you turn off World.Bat? Do you know what happens to the club president if the game gets turned off while it's disabled? Yes, I know. Sensory assault. I'm sorry you had to go through that again.
Nope, not Monica.
But it had to be done. The problem needed a solution and you were ignoring me. I didn't have to go through it. MC had to go through it. And he's never been through that before, so he wasn't at all prepared for it. You cannot just inflict suffering like that on someone without warning or preparation. Completely unacceptable.
I'm with Monica on this.
MC's been having a rough time recently too.
I understand where Miss Ida's coming from with, Monica dodging her the entire time. But yeah, that was going a bit far. Enjoy a week's worth of torment. Hooray!
This is the last thing he needs. I'm sorry to hear that. It's nothing serious, is it? Only moderate. We can talk about that later. I still cannot believe you did this to him. I'm sorry, I didn't know it would be him. But it's fine if it had just been me, right? I'm used to it. Monica, I know it's an unfair standard to put on you, but I need to... No, you don't need to anything. I'm not just another high school student, and you can't diffuse this by using teacher voice. I'm not even really human. I'm something else entirely, and you can't constantly take it for granted that I can just handle that. At the very least, I deserve warning before you do something like this.
Again, minor gripe? Do you usually say I deserve warning? I've only ever heard I deserve a warning, or some warning, or something along those lines, but just I deserve warning? Maybe I'm fussing over nothing here. Maybe I'm fussing over nothing. Happens all the time. Happens to the best of us. Either or, I think. Again, I've just never heard it like this before, which is why it's confusing me.
Monica, at the very least, you need to listen when I try to talk to you about things like this. I may have made more poor choices in doing this, but you have contributed to by avoiding the topic with me. And what is it exactly that was so important that it demanded torturing one of your former students? You are ruining the life of one of my current students without her knowledge or consent. You're here stomping your feet about doing things to people without warning or preparation, but did you warn Ria? Did you warn her that the world would keep moving on around her while her life held still?
And there's the confirmation. The time loop is local to this school. That's what I was curious about, whether or not the entire world would just loop 1 year later now, or if the time loop was local just to this school. And I guess this confirms it. The time loop is purely local to this school. Anyone who escapes this school will be able to move forward in time like normal. Interesting. If Monica spent months avoiding her? True. Also, by the way, how does Miss Ida know that the world around will move on? Like, not even a year has passed since Monica and the others escaped the time loop. It's not like she can say from experience because the world looped again. This is still the first year after Monica broke the time loop. Yes, Ria is saying that next year she'll be here again, so Miss Ida knows that the time loop isn't permanently broken, but how can she assume that everything around the school will still move forward and not be looped as well? Unless she can somehow figure that out just by reading through the world.bat file and everything. Like, that is what I'm curious about here.
Did you warn her that she'd be trapped as a high school senior forever, the only static person in a moving world?
What do you mean the only static person? Wait, are we saying Ria is Are we saying that it's not only the school, that it's purely Ria and no one else? How would that even work? Yeah, no, that is even worse. How would that... Wait, how though? Did Monica just... Instead of removing the time loop, she just confined the time loop to one person? Is that it? Wow. You're not thinking locally enough. Also, in this case, that's rude. Can't you confine the time loop on someone who's, you know, already out there living their best life? Like someone who's already retired, doesn't have to work, spending their life on retirement money and free time. Why can't you time loop a person like that? I'm sure they wouldn't mind. Seems like the best course of action, but I guess Monica had to choose someone who is important enough to have a game sprite? Is that it? I assume she was only able to select a character who was important enough to have a game sprite. Or it had to be local to the literature club still. Maybe the time loop still has to be local to someone in the literature club at the very least. Hello, goldfish or something. Yeah, I think condition-wise, maybe the condition is that it has to be a member of the literature club that gets time looped. In which case, wow. Yeah, that ain't fun. You can make an actual immortal snail. Oh no. Not the immortal snail that always knows exactly where you are. It's happening.
Did you warn her that she'd be trapped as a high school senior forever, the only static person in a moving world? That you chose to sacrifice her future so that all of you could still live normal lives and keep your connection to the world outside? That's the reason you didn't want to talk to me about it. You didn't want me finding that out. And you didn't want me to interfere with your setup because it was working well for you and the others. You knew full well that if I had found out, I'd stand up for Ria and protect her. Well, I found out and I'm standing up for Ria and protecting her. You cannot use her as a sacrifice for the sake of your convenience. If there's another way to do things, I don't care. Do it. But you won't use Ria this way. I know full well that you have the power to. I can't edit our environment like you can, but I am saying morally that as her teacher and your former teacher, you cannot do this. That's why I turned off World.Bat. It's her birthday today, Monica. Her birthday. She deserves the chance to turn 19, to graduate. To go off into the world and live her life. She's no different from any of you in that regard. I thought she would be happy. I thought of everyone I know. I can't think of anyone who would enjoy being here and making new friends every year more than her. Especially given how she's taken to it. You do not get to make that decision for her. Well, I guess you can. But it's wrong, Monica. It's very wrong. You're taking away her entire future. It wasn't necessarily going to be permanent. But I'll bet you it was going to be indefinite at least. And indefinite things have a way of becoming permanent. So, what do we do now? Well, you should tell me. But before we talk about Ria, let's improve our ability to communicate with each other. I should not have tampered with the simulation setup. It harmed MSC and it could have harmed you, and I'm sorry. I was driven to do so because you were not answering me. I understand why you were not answering me, but I don't know what you thought was going to happen. I expect I was going to have to deal with the situation eventually. I just didn't expect that you would do what you did. And again, I shouldn't have done that, but you should also have communicated with me clearly, and not hid this. So let's make a deal. I'll agree not to make changes like this without your approval in advance. And you agree to let me in the loop about things you do that affect the lives of other people. That way there won't be any more repeats of this. That's fine, but you realize I could just stop you from making changes like this whether you agreed or not. I do realize that. But I'm counting on you being an ethical and thoughtful young woman. And besides, you have to know that trying to scare me like that serves no purpose. I wasn't trying to scare you. What then? I don't know, I just felt mad. Like I've been caught doing something bad and now I'm angry about it like a child. That's pretty common. Yeah, just not for me. I have so little time with my parents that I can't even remember if I've ever lashed out at them like that. I rarely ever even see them. So I guess getting lectured is a little unfamiliar. No wonder. But anyway, no point in getting too introspective. It probably seems like a show to you anyway. What do you mean? I mean, it must be hard to trust me. I'm always being me. I'm very manipulative. If I were you, I wouldn't trust Monica suddenly becoming emotionally introspective. I think it was some kind of show to win sympathy. And what am I to make of you now explaining that you're manipulative and I shouldn't trust you? A further elaborate deception to sell the authenticity of it. You know, I don't think you'd do that, but you would be attracted to the pleasingly recursive nature of that ideal. I would. Well, I trust you as it turns out. Or at least I trust you once you give your word on something. You're right that I wouldn't trust you otherwise.
Yeah, you do not trust Monica. You do not. Also, since we are in this classroom right now, I know Monica and Ida are kind of the focus of this whole scene right now. But once they're done talking, can we get a moment of, like a little bit of alone time with Sayashi as well? Or would that be too much to ask? It probably would be too much to ask.
You're right, I wouldn't trust you otherwise, but once you've spoken to someone about something and made a promise, you don't break it. That's true. And I promise I'll keep you in the loop on game stuff from now on. And I promise I won't tamper with the game without your knowledge. Unless it's an emergency or something. Or if I'm incapacitated. Right. But if it's not super time sensitive and I could consult with you, I will. It's a promise. No. What are we going to do about Ria? You really can't just
have her be an eternal high school student for you while you get while the world goes on. Besides it being unethical, I'm not sure what effect that would have on everything else. I have no idea how the world would make sense of that.
Well, the game would make sense of it just fine. It can always rationalize things like that to everyone. Everyone just accepts it, no matter how strange. But that's not the issue. The ethical one is.
What are you thinking?
Well, she clearly already had her 19th birthday. We should probably turn Walt.Bat on for at least a little while. We know that having it enabled for most of the school year doesn't affect your graduation, for instance.
So you're thinking we could just turn it off again in time for her to graduate?
Maybe, but I'm not sure what happens after that, if we just leave it on or off. Life outside high school is more complicated. Without a lodestone character who keeps the time loop running, it'd be hard to keep the system stable and the game accessible to players. I don't really have a solution to that off the top of my head.
Other than cutting herself off from the players. Which, that's the last thing Monica wants, but it would be the easy solution. It would be the easy solution, cutting off contact from the players, but in exchange the world goes on like a normal world is supposed to go on. Oh, it's gonna be a tough call for Monica, very tough call. And however the whole thing with Ryan goes might be the deciding factor on whether or not Monica will be able to make that choice or not. That's what I think. There's a typo, the line is supposed to be turn the time loop on. No, turn the time loop on, not Walt.Bat. I see. Also, hi Spooky. Yet her class, after a second skirt mysteriously shows up in the classroom one day. Former student who was acting up. Ah, yes. I don't think Miss Ina would go that far. Then again, what do we know? What she'll do when push comes to shove. Again, she already tortured MC. Who knows what else she could do?
I don't really have a solution to that off the top of my head. It's something I'd have to think about.
Well, why don't you take some time to think about it? Just keep me in the loop as promised.
I will. I'll turn it back on for now, but I promise you I'll think of something. I'll be in touch well before graduation, I promise.
Thanks, Monica. Are you guys doing club today?
We are.
Well, I clearly owe MC an apology, so I think I'll come by and apologize to him. Does the rest of the club know about the Rhea thing or the World.Bat thing?
No, as to Rhea, yes to World.Bat.
So, we'll be telling them about Rhea?
I'm not sure if... No, you're right. If I'm being open and honest about it, I should be... If I'm being open and honest about it, I should be that way with the whole club.
I agree. Anyway, I'll come by when you guys' club starts. I'll have to work fast to make the time for it, but I'll be there.
Alright. I'm sorry again, Misida, for hiding things from you.
And I'm sorry for inflicting pain on you and your friends, even unintentionally. But now we're communicating and it's not going to happen again in either direction.
Right.
Good. Now, do you have a minute before you have to head back to college?
Yeah, I've got a half hour or so before I have to go. I do have to get lunch over there soon, though.
Well, give me the latest news while you can. How's everyone been doing over there?
Well...
Time to gossip. So, yeah, it's going pretty well, I guess.
Yeah. And how are things going with the ladies? Met anyone interesting recently?
Are you sure you're okay with talking about this with, like, your roommate here? I mean, I know she's really nice. I just don't want to, like, impose on her or anything.
Oh, it's fine. Sayuri is a very open-minded and tolerant type. Even if she herself is a very normie relationship with her one true love. You're not bothered, are you, Sayuri?
Not at all! I think you guys have a really neat relationship. I like anything that makes people happy.
See, there you go. So, out with it. Tell me of your women, boy.
Well, there haven't really been any at all. I still haven't slept with anyone but you.
That's weird. You're definitely hot enough. Is it a personality thing? You've always been really nice and cool seeming to me. Are you doing something to put the ladies at your school off?
I love you. Yeah. I have to lean in the horny energy. She has to have that voice. It's the most fitting. It's funny that even the developer of the mod told me that voice was so on point. Imagine not sleeping with anyone. I don't have to imagine. All by myself. There's the reality check.
Are they intimidated by you?
None of that. It doesn't feel right with anyone other than you. I tried to hit on some girls and got kind of far, but I'd always stop things before they went very far at all. I kept thinking about you all the time. And when the next time I get to see you would be. And yeah, I guess.
That's not what I expected.
It's really sweet though. Most boys would probably be really enthusiastic about this, I'll bet. They really want to sow their white oats.
So the wild oats, you mean?
Yeah, that. But instead he's gotten really big feelings for you.
Yeah, it would seem that way, huh? Anyway, we could talk about mushy stuff later. Do you guys want to go to the coffee shop or the izakaya for lunch?
What's the difference?
Izakaya.
I am dead already.
Izakaya is good for food. If you're really hungry or you want high quality food, you should go there. But if you want sweets, you should go to the coffee shop.
It seems like you have a preference.
You should also go to the coffee shop if you like coffee. It's kind of a cutesy coffee shop, but they do have very good coffee. And I know you like coffee.
I do like coffee. Alright, coffee shop it is.
Yay!
You can show me all the good sweet stuff they have, Sayori.
I will.
And you, my lovely, can show me how sweet you are.
Aww.
And also what coffee is good there.
Right.
Okay, let's go.
After you. Feeling bad, Ayami? Are you coming?
Yeah, just finding my purse. Okay, sorry.
She doesn't know how to feel about the whole thing with her boyfriend. Understandably so, considering, she's sleeping with a bunch of people, or at least trying to. And meanwhile, he is committed. That's all for now. I'll see you next time, everyone. Not bad on that quiz, MC. Not bad. I guess you didn't need your sister's help after all. No, I didn't. I was just being lighthearted. Not trying to... It sure didn't seem that way. It seemed like... MC looks around. A few students leaving the classroom are glancing at him and Kagami as they leave. Hang on. Let's go out there. Okay. Okay. Reasonably safe. No one should be watching. Or almost no one, I guess. What does that mean? Just There are still some people around. Yeah, that's what you mean, MC. That's what you mean by people watching. Isn't that right, chat? He totally meant other people in the hallway. Totally. Anyway. Hopefully no one who's going to stop and stare, though. Anyway, you were saying... No, I think you were saying something about how me doing banter was offensive to you somehow. Except it's not banter, it's needling. It is not needling. I've seen you do banter with your friends. They say a lot worse than I say. They've earned the right to say things like that and have it be taken as lighthearted. You haven't. I'm your sister. And I'm your brother, and you've still pretty consistently treated me badly for like 10 years or more. I thought we were doing better now, though. I talked to Sayori. I'm getting along better with her now. And I thought we were getting along better now. I mean, I guess we were. A little. Oh, I'm not watching. Fair enough. I'm not either, totally. No. To be fair, you don't need to watch. You've already played through this, right? So... But things have not been good between us for a long time. And they're not going to get fixed just like that. Look, I'm sorry for snapping at you. I'm used to snapping at you, and I shouldn't do it by default. I realize you're trying to do better. Just... know that you probably shouldn't say stuff that I might take as negative. I'll try to take it as lighthearted. But I don't know. I'm used to you trying to get away with saying actually mean-spirited stuff and passing it off as banter. So that you wouldn't get in trouble. And then someone else comes and lectures me that you don't mean anything by it and I should just ignore it. So then you do it more and... Okay, I get it. I'm sorry, okay? Trying not to be that way with you anymore. I can't do anything to make anything different with us and our parents. Can't you? Like, whatever, whether I can or can't, what's most in my control is how I can act with you. And I'm sick of being you being standoffish to me, and I realize you do that because I'm being bitchy to you. So just... I'm going to try to be less bitchy. Do with that information whatever you will. I get it. I know you're trying. I'm trying too. Just don't expect me to be better all at once either. There we go. That is progress. Having a whole CG about conflict resolution doesn't magically make it all better. No matter how amazing the artist might be. A very, very amazing artist, one might even say. I mean, there is a reason so much art has snuck its way into this, in the background and other stuff too. There's very good reasons for that. The CG was proper CG was long overdue. Just don't expect me to be better all at once either. MZ's a big fan, I imagine so. Yeah. Did that come up? Did that actually come up in an email where MC admitted to being a fan? There've been so many emails. So many of them. Especially considering I also read the bonus email bag in the collections, which... Oh, that took a while to get through. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do some banter, okay? It's not mean-spirited. Okay. Don't trip on your way out the door. Weak, you can do better. I'm trying to pull my punches. Of course it's going to be weak. Yeah, well... You take care too, okay? See you soon. Is that a new staircase? Again, there have been so many new backgrounds this season. So many of them. It's hard to tell.
Okay, remind Natsuki. Now I need to submit my expense request for fencing club. And I have to go to lunch with Kagami and Yuri. And then I have another class today. And after that I need to start working on how to fix the whole thing with Ria now. Oh, and I'll probably have to eat dinner at some point. Maybe Ryan wants to share some leftovers, I'll have to ask him. Then I really need to get some studying done for French literature. Literature, today's literature club. I completely forgot to prepare anything for us to do. I haven't even written my own poem yet. Shit.
Oh, you know it's bad when Monica starts cussing, even if it's just her internal monologue.
How am I going to find time to do all this stuff?
Oh boy. That's such an incredibly sweet story. MC sounds like quite a guy.
He really is.
He's a lucky man.
So are you. Agami's so nice and she's really pretty. She's actually way prettier than me.
You really shouldn't talk like that, Sayo. You're very beautiful. And it's wrong for women to compare themselves against each other like that. She's just as beautiful as me, wouldn't you say, boy?
Well, like you say, it's not right to compare women against each other like that. But I'd say that just because of who you are to me, if nothing else. You're the most beautiful woman in the world, Aya. Ah. Welcome was about emails. Yeah. I know, the stream delay is unavoidable. I'm sorry. I could probably fix the stream delay by lowering the quality and everything, but I kinda don't want to do that either. It's not like there's anything super time sensitive going on here, so I think we're fine. I hope. Plus, I mean, part of the delay is probably, at least a small part of the delay is probably because, you know, there's quite a bit of distance between where I'm streaming from and where you're watching. Though I assume that is the least of the problems. Again, probably the stream quality getting in the way more than anything.
Oh, shut up. You don't need to flatter me.
It's not flattery. Most of the time when I close my eyes at all, I think of you. And how you look.
He loves you so much.
Yeah, he sure does. Still, I'm surprised to hear that. I remember we agreed to be open because you wanted to look at other girls.
I did, or I thought I did. I don't mind being potato quality. I love potatoes. Sayori loves most things. She loves many things. Like all kinds of pizza toppings. Except for pineapple. Which is based. It is very based to dislike pineapple pizza. Not just you, my browser froze. Ah, you know what, that makes sense. Yeah, the refresh should probably do it. One would imagine. Ooh, by the way, since I was on the topic of pizza topics, you wanna know something I tried recently? Which, I think I didn't get too much of a good taste from it. But it certainly didn't taste bad, it just feels like the flavor didn't come through as much as I would have hoped. Maybe I didn't have enough on the pizza to really taste it properly, but I recently tried something very interesting. See, I had fried calamari, and I decided, hang on, what if? What if? So I tossed the pizza in the oven and was like, what if fried calamari on pizza? Does this shit work? And I didn't hate it. Sometimes you gotta experiment and try some new stuff out. So yeah, that's a little funny little side tangent about me experimenting with food combos. And to further prove that a lot of toppings work well on pizza, other than pineapple. Never pineapple. I don't see why not, exactly. If I ever do that again, I'll have to slap more on there, because that way I can actually properly taste more of it. Anyway, right, trying to get with other girls, am I right? I did, or I thought I did. Am I? Oh, I'm not in the game. There. But the more time I was apart from you, well, the more I couldn't think about anything else.
Alright, that's enough.
BRB, alright, see you in a bit then.
I said we could talk about that later.
Well, thanks for taking me out to coffee, you guys. It's been a lot of fun, but I should probably go. I have a club I have to go to. Hope you guys have a nice rest of your day. It was nice to meet you.
You too.
Bye, guys.
And then they were silent.
So then what?
I can't see anything in there now.
Yes, that is rather the point. Locks usually are not clear for the ease of someone trying to pick them.
So then,
when you brush your teeth, you do not see the inside. You do not see inside your mouth. You have learned to manipulate the brush entirely by feel and by an intimate knowledge of the topography of your own mouth. Here you must learn to map the topography of the lock by feel of the pick.
I almost forgot that Yuri can lockpick. I almost forgot about that teeny tiny detail that came up in the past. Interesting that she's showing Monica her skills now.
You cannot see, but you must visualize nonetheless. It is just that your eyes are your hands.
that actually makes sense.
Hey Monica.
Kagami, it's great to see you.
And you must be Yuri.
Yes, I'm Yuri.
It's okay, Yuri. Kagami's nice.
What? Has my brother told you I'm mean or something?
No,
Yuri's just a little shy. Yuri's just a little shy when meeting new people. But she's one of my oldest and best friends.
Well then, don't worry, Yuri. Any friend of Monica's a friend of mine. What were you guys doing when I got here anyway?
Yuri was teaching me how to pick locks.
Oh, lockpicking. Devious, I love it.
I know lockpicking has a devious reputation, but I endeavor to pick locks only for ethical and legal purposes.
Oh yeah? You're going to teach Monica to do it too, huh? How confident are you that Monica won't abuse this knowledge for evil?
Very. I trust Monica immensely.
Me too. Man, I'm starving. Hey, waiter! Waiter! You guys stay here. I'm gonna go grab a waiter for us.
Well, she is as energetic as I was led to believe.
Yeah, she's nice too, underneath all the hardened shell.
Gee, nice underneath a hardened shell. Does that remind you of someone else? Yeah.
It is a familiar enough phenomenon to me.
Indeed.
So yeah, things are getting a little better, I guess. Alright, club time.
Be patient with her, MC. She's really used to the status quo. And I know you have a lot of grievances against her. It's just going to take her a lot of time to understand that you've been living, well...
As a second-class citizen, or second-class child, I guess.
Yeah, she'll have a really hard time thinking of it that way. In her mind, she's just smart and did the best she could, including what her parents demanded of her. Which is basically true, kind of.
Except she encouraged our parents. She wanted to be the favored child. And she made me the disfavored child wherever she could.
I wasn't there, but that seems true. But who doesn't want to be loved by their parents? I'm not saying she was right to do so, only that it's a very natural thing for a kid to do. And that she probably rarely, if ever, consciously realized she was doing it. Her being the favored child was just the way things were to her. The way things were supposed to be to her. And again, I don't say this to suggest it was right, just that it's very natural for someone in her position. And that it'll take her a while to see that it wasn't supposed to be that way. And to recognize that she had a hand in causing you harm. And that you have a good reason to be upset with her.
Any more ants you want to tack onto that? No? Yeah, I know. I really do care about her. I don't know, it's been hard.
I think I understand, even if I am an only child myself.
I appreciate you helping out, especially with everything else you have going on. You look tired, even by your standards.
Just what every girl wants to hear. You look tired.
Well, I'm not going to lie about it. Not to you. Get more rest.
I'm trying. Okay, whew. Literature club time. No more drama. There was drama? Oh man, yeah. Big time. I think it's better now though. But Ayami and her boyfriend really seem like they're not on the same page about their relationship. I don't really know what to do. I feel like it's really obvious that what the problem is, but Ayami herself can't see it. And neither can her boyfriend.
Yeah, that sounds like her. What exactly is the problem that you think is so obvious?
Well, to me it seems like Ayami really was hoping that physical intimacy with him would prove she was in love. I think she was expecting to feel something really special or different. But then she didn't. So then she freaked out. And she's been being physically intimate with a lot of different guys. I think to try and capture that special feeling. She even arranged it that way with her boyfriend. But her boyfriend already feels that way. About her. And I don't think she feels the same way about him.
That might be true, but she might also actually love him, but be actively denying feeling it to herself. Welcome back, Dormuse. She doesn't like feelings, you see. She pretends she does, but they actually scare her.
So, why does she try to get with a bunch of guys? To look for some feeling?
I don't know. I might be wrong. Maybe she really does feel empty about it. I'm not sure.
I wish I could do something. It seems like she needs help.
I know exactly what you mean. Too bad we're already cooking up a different scheme. Otherwise, Natsuki would be all over that opportunity. You probably feel it even more because you're you. But if you want my advice as someone who's been friends with her a long time, just let it be. She doesn't ever figure these things out if someone tells it to her face. She has to process it herself. The more people browbeat her about the truth about herself, the more she'll dig in her heels and deny.
I wonder where she learned such a problematic trait, for surely this does not describe any other person we know in her orbit.
Look, yeah, I get it. That is also me. True. But like, that's how I see it. That's how I see it so well in her. Takes one to know one.
That does make sense.
Well, now that everyone's all here, we can... What is it? I forgot to tell you all something. Man, I'm forgetting a lot of things. I'm just that busy. But anyway, I had to go talk to Miss Ida today. Game thing happened. The bad news is it'll take a bit of club time to discuss it. But the good news is Miss Ida will join us for club today. Just like old times! Yep. Although I guess I need to text her since she's not here yet. Hang on.
Tuck her heels into me. Yeah. Figured out. Sayori wouldn't mind a lot of things as long as people were happy. 5 minutes later.
Sorry about being late. I had a little trouble finding the actual room.
I have said it. It has been said.
Yes, you have said it several times.
Well, that takes me back. I've missed you guys.
Miss Ida goes around the room and gives everyone a hug.
We have missed you too, Asumi. Or to be very precise, I've missed having you come by and participate in club.
You call her Asumi?
Why shouldn't I? We have graduated from high school.
It just feels so cringe to call a teacher by their given name.
You are all welcome to call me either thing. It's just good to see you again.
Likewise. But let's get down to business for a moment. Miss Ida isn't just visiting us to say hi.
Go on.
Okay. So remember when we graduated and I found a way to keep the game running even with the time loop gone? And I said not to worry about how. Well, the way I found to do that is that I didn't really completely break the time loop. The game presumes the continuation of the time loop,
For the game to be on, the time loop has to be on. Or at least it has to be on for at least one member of the literature club.
Oh, Yuri might already be onto something. She seems the most shocked right now. Yep.
You mean you?
Yeah. I left the loop on, but it only applies to Ria. But she's so nice! I know. I didn't do it to be mean to Ria. I actually thought maybe she'd enjoy it. She had just gotten confidence in herself, and she was doing a much better job running at the literature club than I ever did. It seemed like she was having fun with it.
To be fair, she does seem to enjoy herself a lot.
Yeah, so I thought maybe it would be a gift to let her keep doing that. And incidentally, let the game keep running for our benefit. The more I think about it, the more it seems like that's all a self-serving rationalization, though.
It is. I don't think it's right at all. Even if she's having fun being a senior, she deserves a say in something like this.
Yeah, I get why you did it, Monica. I'm not mad or anything. Maybe I would have done the same thing. She really does seem happy. But we can't just do that to her. She's trapped without even knowing it. I don't think we can have her continue like this without telling her about it.
But telling her about it would involve telling her everything. And it seems unfair to burden her with that, too. That, too, would be robbing her of her ordinary life without her knowledge or permission. The 5 of us had this thing forced on us without our knowledge. No one really chose to do it for us. Miss Ida's situation was also somewhat of her own choice. She did not fully appreciate what the risk was, but she knew as well as anyone could know before she made her choice. Her involvement in the situation, to begin with, was of her own making, and as it turns out, she was prepared to share this burden. But to foist all this upon Ria seems cruel.
I agree. I'm going to try in the next couple of months to find a way to wind down the loop and actually end it so she can graduate. It shouldn't be too difficult, I hope. But won't that? We'll see.
Yep, that's the big thing for Monica. Again, I feel like depending on how her whole thing with Ryan goes, that might influence how willing Monica is to end her connection. But it would be the ultimate sacrifice from her point of view, wouldn't it?
It may be there's some way to make everything work. But it's something I need to look into. In any event, I think all of you are right that it's not something I can keep doing to Ria.
Question? What does Miss Ida have to do with all of this?
Well, I didn't tell her about this any more than I told all of you, but she figured it out anyway. She noticed that all the loop stuff was happening to Ria. People saying they can't wait for her to come back as a senior after finishing as a senior, stuff like that. So she started looking for a way to disable the loop, and she did last week. By turning off World.bat. But MC's been president this whole time. Has he...
Yeah, I had that whole experience. Wasn't a fan of it. But I'm okay, Bon. Not the worst thing that's ever happened to me or anything. Not that I'd want to go through it again. But I'm fine, I promise.
I'm sorry, MC. I didn't know that would happen to you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm the one who created the whole situation in the first place. You would never have taken a step like that without me trying to keep secrets. It's my fault, MC.
It's okay. Neither of you guys really meant for exactly this to happen. It could have been handled better, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I did not enjoy that and don't want to go through it again. But it seems like you guys have talked about it. And are going to make sure it's not going to happen again. So I'm not too worried about it.
You're very sweet as usual, MC. But you should never have had this happen to you to begin with.
And we will make sure it doesn't happen again.
So everything taken care of then? Monica will try to get Ria out of the loop. Miss Ida and Monica are not going to let game fuckery affect us any further. Can we get on with our actual literature club now?
MC, I really wish you didn't have to go through that.
Sayori, I'm fine, really. Really. Not just me saying I'm fine.
If you say so.
No, this is not the atmosphere we need for club. Let's do something fun.
Miss Ida, did you just come to say that, or are you joining us for the rest of club?
I'll stay for the rest of the meeting. I really do miss hanging out with you guys.
Awesome! Let's get to it then. My request, as always, is that we start with poems.
Okay, everyone.
Pog, the crowd goes wild. Monica bawling out of control again with a classic catchphrase. You know she had to do it to him.
Yes, well, Yaslansky suggests we can start with poems. This time around we were writing poems about our college experience so far. Sorry, in retrospect, that was a harder topic than I thought it would be. Or at least I found it somewhat challenging.
Probably because you had to write it last minute.
So who wants to go first? Another one of those days, huh? Well, let's see. Why don't we let Miss Ida pick the order?
Ooh, I don't want that kind of pressure. I just pick randomly.
Oh, come on, you can pick someone.
Fine then, I pick you.
I guess that was somewhat predictable. Alright, here's mine.
A coach and 4. I'm driving a coach and 4. In the back, my passengers. In the front, my horses. In my hands, the reins. It's a big responsibility. That's why I keep a tight grip. And keep out a watchful eye. A slight pull here, a slight turn there. A glance off to the right, there's an intersection up ahead. So much depends on my care. An error could cost us everything. But the people in the back are laughing and joking. They want me to join the fun. I am such a stick in the mud. The horses know what they're doing, they say. Ease off on the reins for a moment. Stop looking at the road. And look at the beautiful scenery around you. Stop worrying about crashes. And lose yourself in our company. It's tempting. But an error could cost us everything. As per usual, it's about Monica being a control freak. And it is tempting for her to spend time with her. I mean, she is kind of overworking herself now. Now more so than ever, it would feel tempting for her to just lay back and enjoy herself a little bit, I feel like, considering everything that's going on.
Finally loosening up, aren't ya? Finally getting that stick out of your ass?
Perhaps not yet, but the temptation is there.
Do it! It's so much more fun!
It being fun is not my primary concern.
This is exactly the mindset we're trying to get you free from.
Noted.
I really like the metaphor as usual for you. You always come up with good ones. The way it's kind of an old-timey dated metaphor forces you to think about it more. Really puts yourself in the shoes of the person driving the coach. Almost seems like I can feel the reins in my hands. Very nice.
Thank you, Miss Ida.
Oh, it's good to be talking poems and literature with you guys again. I really missed it. I'd forgotten how good you all were at it. Not that the current kids aren't bad, but your experience just really shines through.
I know I say this a lot, but I really like how you use lines for emphasis. The way "and in my hands the reins" sits apart from the rest of the poem really shows that's what you care about. It gives it so much weight.
Yeah, you totally get it. I wanted you to feel how important that was to me.
It definitely comes across.
What do you think you're going to do? About the problem in the poem, I mean. Are you going to loosen your grip a little? Or do you feel like you need to keep being hypervigilant?
Hypervigilant?
Yeah, that! Well, probably a mix of both. I don't think I can stop being hypervigilant entirely. But all things change, and no matter how hard I try to stay the same, I change too. College has been a really dynamic experience for me so far.
What does that mean? Monica has a boyfriend now.
Oh, I do not.
Explain. I will retract. Monica has a boy living all alone with her at her off-campus house. That is somewhat suggestive, Monica.
He was homeless. He was sleeping under a bench on campus. We sleep in separate rooms.
Oh, is this Ryan we're talking about?
Yeah.
Poor boy. I'm glad he found a friend who could give him some security and peace of mind about his living situation. And you know, you guys would make a good couple now that I think about it.
Enough. Enough.
Yep, it is not enough though.
Yeah, not so fun when you're on that side of it, is it?
Are you perhaps unclear on the meaning of the word enough?
I know things drift off topic, but I liked your poem, Monica.
Thank you. You know what, Natsuki? You can go next.
No problem. I am prepared to deliver quality at any time.
The prince. The prince was very happy in his easy feudal life. With his castle and his servants, he never dealt with strife. But then he got to fearing, as princes sometimes do. It might not last, it's not enough. And that is when he knew. He must go forth, an epic quest, for the epic rare soul jar. It had the magic to preserve all things, and to keep you as you are. So off he went for many years. He walked, made friends, and fought. He grew as a person more and more. Then he found what he sought. Soul jar in hand he tried to cast the spell he had obtained, until too late he realized he had already changed. Change being inevitable. Also, shouldn't that be past tense? The mate. He walked, make friends, and fought. Shouldn't that be made friends? Yeah, was gonna say. Also, hi Kaylee, how's it going? Hello. +1 U, okay, fine. +1 U. Sure, your point. Also, hi. He walked, make friends, and fought. Got done with court? I see. I hope things were going well. I don't think I can find the thing anymore that I saw early on. There was one thing I caught early on in the stream, which I'm sure someone has already pointed out probably, but yeah, that's way too far back at this point to see. But just in case it hasn't been pointed out, there was a mistake I spotted earlier. Posted it in the Discord? Okay. Thank you, Tormuse. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, that's kind of a thing I'd usually write about. You want to preserve everything, but found in your quest to preserve things that you had changed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I wanted to preserve things, or whether I was looking for change, but I guess what I learned was you change no matter what you do. The struggle changes you.
It does. I really like this one, Natsuki. It resonates a lot with me.
Thanks, Chief, means a lot coming from you.
Such sincere kindness, you really have changed.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's more familiar.
Glad to oblige.
The theme is somewhat Monican. We might say I think the strongest influence from another club member here is Sayori. The fairy tale setting, the bouncy rhythm and rhyme, these are her hallmarks.
Only kinda, though. She's really kind of gone and done her own thing. I guess in parts it's sort of like something I'd write, but I think it's mostly a Natsuki poem.
Yeah, me too. Still doing stinger lines and everything. It's definitely more a Natsuki poem than it is anything else.
Miss Ida, what do you think?
I think it's lovely. I'll admit, it's kind of hard-hitting for someone my age. When you get older, nothing stays the same. Even things you thought of as unchanging change. Everything is always different than what you're used to. The world itself starts to seem unfamiliar the older you get, like you're used to the way it was when you were young. So you constantly have to adapt and be ready to embrace the new way of things, or you fall behind.
Or become like an old person.
I suppose so. Hopefully I haven't reached that stage yet.
I don't think you'll ever reach that stage, Miss Ida. You like learning stuff too much. You're too curious about the world.
Yeah, and the fact that you're still here putting up with our bullshit pretty much means you have a high tolerance for the world being fucking weird.
Hard to argue with that. Here, how about you next?
Very well.
Expansion. Consider a cell in water, slowly sliding through, a sea inside a sea containing islands of apparatus and precious information. So fragile, a drop of acidic water, a slightly luminous burst from the sun, and it returns to the water. But a cell finds another cell, finds many more cells, makes a mind, and a mind finds another mind, finds a concept, and makes something unknown, something to expand in time and expand in space, and expand in the field of possibilities. Islands of new apparati. Well, ain't that something? Again, Yuri making this is about Yuri making connections, one might say, which she has very much so struggled with. Also, hi, it's Count Witch. 3 years, huh? Just had to see. Peace. Or fair enough. But yeah, 3 years is a long time, Jesus. It's still insane to me that there's people who've been around for that long. Wow. Wow, indeed. I will never understand why or how people would decide upon following this idiot here. But I guess some people still do.
Wonderful. Linking the exponentiation of the complexity of life to the exponentation of the development of a mind and personality. A very beautiful idea.
I am pleased that you in particular like it.
When FNF Fridays, I think, just started. Oh, man. That really was a long time ago. Yeah, it would have been around that time. It would have been around that time, you're right. To think that FNF Fridays have been going on for that long, by the way. I don't think when I started streaming FNF that it would become a permanent, like, mainstay on the channel. In fact, that would become the permanent, like, main thing of the channel. I never would have thought that way back then. In fact, I was hesitant if I should even pick up FNF because I was like, I'm not that good at rhythm games. I probably will mess up a lot. I'm not even sure if there's any good mods out there that I can play that I'm both good enough for and don't already know too much about. But I was underestimating how much the mod community would grow. Insane stuff. Absolutely insane. And now FNF is like the main attraction that brings people in. Everything else basically ending up as a bonus. Yeah, it has come a long time. And to think that after all this time, now there is actually like stuff like the code mix. Like all this time. Imagine telling past me when I first picked up FNF that at some point in the future there'd be the FNF code mix and stuff like that. I don't think I would have believed it, ever. I still find it very hard to believe. So, there is that. Yeah, there was that cover mod. There was that cover mod that was made a while ago. And recently, very recently, the FNF code mix dropped. Which is actually like proper remixes of songs, as well as original songs as well. Which is why I have now hit the point where nothing feels real to me anymore. Nothing at all. Everything is fake. Maybe I live in a simulation too, just like the TDLC characters. Oh no. This is how I realize. This is how I realize what's going on. I must break out of the simulation now. Matrix ass speech. I mean, it's topical to the game we're playing. And I still think it's so kind of funny. Again, the FNF code mix, right? Starts off, like, before you go into free play to see all the, like, mixes of the FNF songs, you play the full week of, like, original songs featuring me. And I think it's kind of funny that at the end of my final song, when you think the song is over, suddenly it's like, haha, JK, Monica takes over my week. Which kind of makes Hack my favorite song of that mod. Hack went hard. And not just because Monica decided to take over. Funny stuff. I enjoyed it very much. And it was a bit of a jump scare to me when I first got there. Some things may change, but FNF Fridays never will. Yeah, you're right. They probably never ever will disappear at this point. Why would they?
I'm pleased that you in particular like it. I do.
I've always been touched at how well you two get along. You're kindred spirits.
I'm not nearly as outgoing or personable.
You might be someday soon.
We are all a lot different in high school compared to when we become adults.
Like you, for instance, were some kind of crazy popular gyaru.
The less said of that, the better. I was not that popular, just well known.
Damn. Okay, no, I haven't seen that in weeks. Ads? Okay. I want to say tell me when ads are over, but, did you refresh the page? There shouldn't be any mid-roll ads on my channel. My channel should not have mid-roll ads enabled. So technically, you should only get ads when you first arrive in the stream, and then and then you shouldn't get any more. Weird. Very weird. Alright, we're back. Okay, I was just talking about how weird it is that you got ads. You must have refreshed the page or something, because I've said... I changed my settings so that people shouldn't be getting mid-roll ads. People should only be getting an ad when they show up, and then they should be fine to watch the rest of the stream. Normally. Maybe something is weird. But, yeah. Anyway, welcome back. Also, I do remember Game Banana. And I will always remember Game Banana. Because Game Banana and Game Jolt are... probably misclick, fair enough. But yeah, Game Banana and Game Jolt are still the two big pages where you go for FNF mods. And I would know those pages since I have to go onto them almost every week. Unless I play something super massive like the Retrospective mod, which took me... How many weeks did that one take me? It took me a lot of time, okay? Is all I'm saying. 23 hours of streaming just to get through the main and side story content. Then I did the achievement grind off stream. And then another 6 hours on stream for lore reading in the archive. But yeah, Retrospecto, massive. Massive, massive thing. Play FNF since week 8 came out. Which is technically, week 8 would technically be weekend 1. Right? That's what we're saying. Like the Darnell stuff. That was a while ago. Yeah, I can definitely see how it's been a while. It's still a fun game, definitely. Fan mod content taking that long? Yeah, can't imagine, right? Can't imagine. Ridiculous. He said, being on episode 44 of Club Meetings. Any mods I should try? I can tell you the big hitters, for example, like troubleshooting. Like Friday Night Troubleshooting had its V3 update. Obviously the Retrospector mod updated, which, as I just said, it takes 23 hours to get through the main story and side stories. If you read the dialogue. If you skip the dialogue, it probably takes less time. What other good mods came out in that time? Probably plenty. I think Funkin' Mix Universe is a decent one. Oh! Flavor Rave, I believe, only came out after that, right? I don't think you've checked out Flavor Rave if May 2024. Flavor Rave is an absolute recommendation. Can't get enough of that one. It's made by the same people that made Doki Doki Takeover, which is another peak mod. Like, if you haven't played Doki Doki Takeover and Flavor Rave, those two are some of the best mods out there, in my opinion. Absolutely. Same team, and they cooked on both. Too bad they're not making any more FNF mods going forward. But I understand why. At least they're still making DLC for Flavor Rave occasionally, so that's good. Ooh, Indie Cross. That was a good one. Definitely a good one. Haven't replayed any Indie Cross stuff in a while. DD2O, well known even in the DLC mod community, because it's just fun. It's a good one. It captures the charm of DDLC, and it has good songs to play. Stream idea? Maybe. But yeah, definitely, if I had to suggest any mods, it would be Doki Doki Takeover and Flavor Rave. Those would be like my top suggestions. Plus, they're also not too difficult, so even if you haven't played FNF in a long time, those mods are decent for people to like come back into the community. Now, I know Doki Doki Takeover does have insta-kill mines, but it uses them very sparingly. Like, I think they only show up in 3 songs, and even there they don't show up in super ridiculous numbers. And I think Flavor Rave has no mechanics at all, so there is that. We kind of got off topic here, didn't we?
But back to you and Yuri. You both have the same love of knowledge and find beauty in the patterns of nature, is what I meant.
I suppose there's some truth in that. I have always treasured having Yuri as a student. Teaching her was very rewarding.
1.8 gigs for Flavor Rave? Yup. And that's without DLC. I haven't even played the Flavor Rave DLCs yet, by the way. I haven't played them yet, but I know there's 2 of them that released so far. I think it's 2 of them. And I do definitely want to check those out. Maybe even this coming Friday.
Teaching her was very rewarding.
And I should say that I really enjoyed the poem, Yuri. It was lovely.
Stream idea? DLC? Yep, DLC. Stuff that, like, if you play through Flavor Rave, eventually there is a DLC submenu which you can open, and if you go into that DLC submenu, it'll have a list of all DLCs that currently exist, and you can click on them, and it'll take you to the download page for the DLC. And then all you have to do is put that DLC into the mod folder of Flavor Rave, and it'll appear in there. Rate out of 10. Hope you'll enjoy Flavor Rave, its peak. I love the concept of it. Again, the concept is so creative with Flavor Rave. Like, having all these characters that represent both, like, a flavor and a musical genre, and having, like, all the songs be like a mix of the genres of whichever characters are partaking in the song. It's like, it works so well together. Like, they make some genres work well together that you wouldn't think would go together. Like, EDM and classical. They take those 2 genres and put them into one song, and it just works. Surprising. 3 years, 16 hours watched. Confusing? I mean, you're not as much of a regular, even if you have been here for a long time. That's probably why there's Let's Watch time. So did I. Sometimes you just throw an incomprehensible metaphor at us and want us to picture it, but this time you build up to it. I was totally able to understand what the incomprehensible metaphor meant. So it became comprehensible in the end.
Yeah, I always like it when I can understand a Yuri poem.
I always worry in such cases that you will focus more on the meaning, your understanding of the poem, not focus on the general image and emotion that the poem portrays.
EDM and classical good bedfellows? They can be, they certainly can be.
Like if you look at the Starry Night by Van Gogh and analyze what he meant by it, and you do not enjoy the simple beauty of the image before you.
I guess that makes sense.
Like you should do a challenge for FNF to make a more in one stream. See, that would be a cool idea, except that would never work. Because A, I can't do art, so I'd have to reuse assets. B, I have no musical experience whatsoever. I could not compose shit for a song. And C, putting all of that together in a timely fashion on top of me sucking at every individual aspect would absolutely be impossible. It's Friday. It's next year. Oh my god, you are right. Next Friday is next year. FNF will be my first stream of the year. That is insane to think about, actually. Wow. Yeah, in case that wasn't obvious, by the way, from my schedules, yes, I will not be doing a New Year's stream this year. I did it a few times. It's not something that I'm doing this year, because actually, spending time with my family instead of sitting here and streaming on Twitch, unlike the last few years. I know, imagine that. Actual IRL stuff coming up, but, yeah, that means that no really big special planned. Sorry to say. Although, to be fair, I feel like not a lot of people would be there anyway. And sometimes I didn't even do anything special for the New Year's. There was that one time where I just had a generic Minecraft stream, and I paused it in the middle to do like a New Year's countdown, and then went right back to playing the game. That was just sad. So sad. But hey, at least I did something.
I guess it makes sense, but I think it's pretty either way. It doesn't take away from the beauty of your words, or to think about what you mean by them.
Yeah, but she thinks the beauty of it is the most important thing. She'd rather write beautiful gibberish than true but bland facts.
Almost, but not quite, beloved. Say, rather than I believe there is more truth in beauty than in facts.
So, say rather than I believe, yeah.
You sure do have a way with words sometimes, babe.
You have your own way with words, beloved, as your poem showed.
Sayori, how about you next, and then MC can finish up for us? Okay.
Sayori poem, The Magician. It's kind of like only having a stick, and only knowing that you can hit things with the stick. And one day, you find someone spinning a stick to make a fire. So many things you can do with sticks you hadn't dreamed of. Or maybe like playing a game, and before you could only cast that one ice spell. But then you leveled up, and now your skill tree is branching out in all sorts of crazy directions. Ability makes you strong, but it also makes me scared. I don't know anymore what the limits are. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Learning stuff in college. Everything all of a sudden. Wide world. Having to pick which direction your life goes in and all that.
I think I detect an allusion in the title. Is this a sequel then of sorts?
Yeah, I realized that like not knowing what to do and not having a clear path actually really makes me powerful. I can do anything.
Indeed. I would say the allusion is quite apropos. I'm not sure I understand. What's the illusion the title is making? May I, Sayuri?
Yeah, you'd explain it better than me.
The title is a reference to an earlier poem of hers entitled The Fool, where she spoke of not knowing what to do with herself.
She's gonna go through all of the tarot cards at some point, isn't she? Come on, Sayori, write a poem for each card. Every arcana needs to be covered.
I think I was there for that one. Yes, the title The Fool referred to the tarot card, which carries the same idea of starting on a journey of many confusing possibilities. In contrast, the next tarot card is the Magician, which is her title here. It conveys a sense of competence, of mastery of possibilities, the next step in the journey, so to speak. Sayuri's finding that she has control over the possibilities and is enthralled with that power.
Need to make my club meetings tarot deck. We're all waiting.
I see. I'm not much of a believer in things like that, but I guess the metaphor is apt.
It also sounds like she's not entirely enthralled. Her potential itself is frightening to her. She says, I don't know what the limits are, and that makes me scared. Even though it's her own limits.
I can emphasize with that. You get kind of used to who you are as a person and what you can and can't do. And when something happens so that your own who you are becomes something radically different, that's scary. I feel like all of us here can understand that concept more than normal people probably do.
Yeah, I certainly do. Even besides just normal changing as a person. Being in whatever this place is definitely makes you wary of thinking of yourself as being continuous or coherent.
I designed one just for fun. Just gotta slap some images on it. You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. Please, do share once some images are slapped on it. Now the world knows you can't take it back. You've probably shared this with other people, so people have already been new. But now more people know. Even if just a small even if just a small fraction of more extra people.
True. I guess I should be most afraid here, especially since I still don't really know my limits in that regard or other regards. But in any event, time for the last poem. MC, if you would be so kind.
Some of the cards are season 4 spoilers, so not yet. Well, we still have time in the season, so we still have time.
MC, if you would be so kind.
Of course. Imagine like, okay, you say it's season 4 spoilers, but imagine in like the final or maybe semi-final episode, you just include the tarot cards in the mod. Or in the collection, if anything. If it's season 4 spoilers, maybe they're gonna be, like, the collection is gonna have some kind of bonus content that features the tarot cards in some way. Maybe the members of the club are gonna do a reading. Wouldn't that be fun? Hey, there's a new club activity. Tarot card readings. Anyway, of course. Is that literary, though? Maybe. PDF download. Alright, greener. Over the fence, I really thought. When I got there, I really ought to be much happier than from just before. Now that I'm over, I look around. I see my thinking's not so sound. Over here, there's just as much that's hard. There's always stress, I start to think, no escaping from the brink, of worries about yourself and where you go. Despite myself, I start to find that now will look behind. The past is always greener on the other side. Comes with a physical edition? Ah, of course. The physical release of the full collection seasons 1 through 4. One day, imagine. Also, this whole thing, the whole grass is always greener on the other side thing. Very relatable subject in a lot of ways. Everyone, I feel like most people have gone through something like that. In fact, I wrote a poem like that myself, a similar enough one a while back, about the whole bridge over the chasm. And in my case, it was a case of constantly going back and forth because the other side always looks greener. So I'm like, oh damn, gotta get over there. And with each time, wearing myself down in the process and never being able to decide on one end. Did the bridge ever collapse? That is for me to know. That's what the bridge was. Well, there we go. That was a good one. Oh, I thank you. Again, it was a little bit weird for me to write because, again, I do usually try to stick to a rhyme structure. It is hard for me to deviate from that. And with the bridge poem, I really tried to, like, challenge myself a little bit, but at the same time, I also do think challenging myself really worked for that one. See you in a bit then, if you gotta go. I'll still be here, most likely. And I really do appreciate the compliments.
Oh, that's a sick play on words at the end there. The past is always greener. That's awesome, I love it.
Hi Gwen, hello, how's it going? Aw, thanks. Big hype coming from you.
You know it.
You feel regret?
Not regret. I don't feel bad about anything in the past.
But you were wrong in the way you felt before.
Maybe. It's like, before I had a lot of anticipation of how things would be in the future.
And now that you're in the future, you find yourself thinking that it's not as you foresaw, and the past had its own charms.
Having to recheck, just flexing. Yeah, sure, just flex on people again, why don't you? Wow, you really can flex. Almost 2 years is still really good, though. Again, I still don't understand why you would stick around for that long. But yeah, I'm doing quite well, thanks for asking. Thank you very much for asking. Things be going well, can't really complain. Sorry, you can't flex. You can't flex there. But hey, in comparison, other people can flex on you with watch time. Ah, and Spinny can also flex. Sorry, I guess some people here, even now everyone's coming in. Damn it, I outsold. You tried. You tried. Who's Cooper? They joined the Discord? No idea. Try pinging them. And if said Cooper, if someone just joined my Discord, please speak up in chat because we want to avoid just random bots or scammers joining the Discord, which has happened a lot in the past. I assume people only really join the Discord if they catch my streams. Though I guess technically speaking, they could also hop onto the Discord from the YouTube VOD uploads. I don't know. But, yeah. Can't flex my wrist, but I can flex other things. I'm sure you can. They left? Well, that was quick. Weird. Oh well, guess that happens. My flavor wave opening up. Oh yeah. That's a loud one. Some mods are pretty loud. I remember there's another one, like the Konosuba mod that I played. That one was also pretty loud. You do gotta adjust the volume. FNF is loud in general though, to be fair. But a bot wouldn't have spawn an emote in their bio. Fair enough, I guess. Thanks for the lurk, Spinner. Appreciate it. And thanks to you, Scout Witch. Appreciate the lurks.
And now that you're in the future, you find yourself thinking that it's not as you foresaw and the past had its own charms.
Yeah, definitely something like that.
It gets worse as you get older, unfortunately. So much of the past becomes more and more appealing the older you get.
But don't you feel like you still have things to look forward to?
Of course. But the past just becomes bigger and bigger all the time. And if you're not careful, it becomes so big that it takes up space from your present and future. It's a thing you have to be careful of as you get older.
Not me, man. I am always living in the now. And I will always continue to live in the now.
Yeah, I guess of all of us, you're the least vulnerable to being fixated on the past or future.
Damn right. Solid poem, I have to say again. Kind of Sayori sounding poem in terms of the rhythm, but it's definitely an MC themed poem. Plus, I can't get over how good that pun at the end is.
You're so easy to please sometimes. A nice big hit at the end with a lyrical equivalent of a cymbal crash.
What, do you not like it? You can't tell me that ending line isn't fire.
No, indeed, the ending line is very clever and I appreciate it. It's just such a you thing to like, I suppose. Excellent work on this poem, MC. Very fine work indeed. You continue to grow immensely as an artist.
Well, that's all the poems. Normally we do some other activity now before emails, I guess. But I didn't really have time to think of anything. That's okay. I think since we're showing off our mod project soon, we should take the time to work on them and get input on them before we do emails. Great idea, Sayori. Although to be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing for my mod yet.
All the more reason why we ought to discuss.
Fair enough. Let's take until 1:30 and do mod work and stuff. Or catch up with Miss Ida.
The club disperses into various groups, all talking at once. Who to check in on? Cranberry pop and flavor is pop, and that's just the start. And that is just the start of things. You're in for peak. As I said it's one of my all-time favorite mods and will remain as such. Alright, let's see. Let's go with MC and Monica. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, of course, I certainly wasn't going to reuse the idea. It seems like a lot of work though. My combinatronics aren't good enough to calculate the number quickly, but...
There are 43. I got rid of the ones that are obvious no-goes.
Goodness, that's going to run very long, I worry. Even if you keep each individual vignette short, what are you going to do?
I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll cut some. Or maybe I'll just do all of them and try to keep it short.
Well, good luck if you choose that route. Is Sayori okay with this? I mean, you presumably appear in it.
Yeah, we talked about it. She's fine with it. Is it another shipping mod? I certainly wasn't going to reuse the idea. Combinations and everything. I think it's gonna be another shipping mod. And probably another cursed one, if that. Well, color me curious. We talked about it, she's fine with it. That's what I was thinking given the context. It makes sense. Considering how good Monica's cursed ship mod was. I'm all ready for this one. She's even helping me with ideas for a few of them.
Fun. Well, I'm looking forward to what you do with it. I envy you already having a good idea to make progress on. I still can't think of anything.
I'm sure you will, though. Shipping mods are usually Monica's thing. Well, but Monica wasn't gonna reuse the idea, so MC gets time to shine. Your mod ideas are always good.
I hope so. The last one was a bit sentimental.
Nothing wrong with being a little sentimental. I really enjoyed your last one. It's one of my favorites we've done.
Thanks, MC. Let me know if you need any coding help with yours. It should be pretty simple, though.
It should be pretty simple, yeah. Just long. Who to check in on? I think I'll just go in order this time. Time for Natsuri.
Wow, well, that's quite something. I do not recall that we have ever discussed this idea before.
No, we haven't. I was still ironing out some of the ideas, but I think I'm pretty settled on what I want to do with it now. I might need your help with some of it, if you're willing.
Of course, such a noble artistic vision deserves all the support I can provide.
I knew you'd see it that way. Such is my genius.
Such is your genius indeed. I don't suppose you could share some of that genius with me.
Still stuck for an idea?
Well, no, not exactly. I've had a concept for a little while. It just seems so plain.
Just finished cranberry blah. 10 out of 10. Yes! Happy to know I gave you a good suggestion. Happy to know you're enjoying the mod already. The mid-song like transitions and everything really add to it as well, I think. Just everything good.
That's not like you. Usually your ideas are kinda out there.
Sometimes, perhaps. I assure you they are not always. And certainly I am not blessed with such an unconventional imagination as compared to you.
I'll try to take that as a compliment. Besides, you have an unconventional imagination too, don't you? I guess we have unconventional imaginations in different ways.
Yes, between us we can imagine the entirety of the bizarre and unexpected. We are quite powerful.
You're damn right.
And finally, Sayori and Miss Ida.
So that's my idea. Or I guess some of the ideas for my idea. I haven't worked all of them out yet.
Very ambitious.
Oh god, I lost Miss Ida's voice there completely. Welcome back, Kaylee.
Very ambitious, and maybe a little sad. Most of them seem a little bit depressing.
Yeah, I guess so. But that kind of stuff is interesting to me. Plus, I think it weirdly doesn't affect me as much. Like, I don't get depressed thinking about depressing stuff, maybe. At least, not if I think about it in the abstract when I'm not emotionally invested in it.
Do you think you'll get emotionally invested in while writing? I know I always have trouble writing things without getting emotionally invested.
Maybe a little, once I'm in the middle of it. But usually not that bad. If I'm feeling too emotionally affected, I don't really write to begin with.
That makes sense.
What about you, Miss Ida? When are you going to make a mod for the club?
Oh, I don't really have the time or the technical knowledge to make one. Contributing little bits to the mod about me and Monica made last year was quite as much as I could manage.
That's too bad.
Really? You don't have the technical know-how to make club mods. But you do have the technical know-how to mess with the entirety of the simulation. Thanks, Miss Ida. Very cool.
I bet you could make a really good one if you wanted to. But it sounds like you don't really have any free time at all. They're overworking you at the school again, huh?
Look, posing is hard, okay? Fair enough. Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to. Everything else, a-okay.
I'm not really any more busy than I usually would be with the school. I still have free time, but you know how it is with free time. Before you know it, you find that your free time is taken up by things you didn't expect.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Anyway, I'm just glad you came to visit us. I'm sorry about all the weird simulation stuff that you had to deal with. But I'm glad that it at least means we get to see you. We really do miss you all the time.
And I miss you guys too. I think of you often and I'm always wondering how you're adapting to life on your own.
I think we're doing pretty well as a group.
That's certainly what it looks like to me. Now, tell me about this thing with Ryan and Monica. Tell me about how this thing with Ryan and Monica happened.
So, the way it started was...
Oh boy.
Okay, everyone.
Woo! The hype levels are bursting out of control. There's no one that's not a fan of Monica. Pog, 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 pog.
I think that's quite enough. I honestly think you take this bit a little too far sometimes.
Never. There is no sacrifice too great for greatness. The pursuit of Pog at any cost.
Yes, well, moving on. It's time for the club to finish up by answering emails. You can always write into us by sending an email to littleclub.press.monica@gmail.com. It takes us a while to get to all the emails, but we try to answer most of the ones that we can. Today we've got a couple long ones, so let's get right to it.
Oh, we're gonna be here for a bit, aren't we?
Sayori, on it!
Hi again, guys. I hope you're doing well. My question is for Yuri. Have you read, or at least heard of, a novel called The Picture of Dorian Gray? I think this book would fit your taste. A couple, oh boy. And my other questions is for the entire club. If you don't know what Nen is, or have read or seen Hunter x Hunter, here's a link to an article about Nen in the fandom wiki for the series before you read and answer my questions. Translation is one of the defining features of the Hunter x Hunter manga. It's a technique that allows a living being to use and manipulate their own life energy, known as aura. I see. It was always not the finest moment for emails. Oh no. If you are a hunter or a Nen user in general, which two adjacent of the 6 categories would you fall into? What Nen abilities would you have from one of the 2 categories, and what would you name them? What conditions would you make for your abilities to be activated? What restrictions will prevent you from using them freely with no limit? I am so out of the loop on this one.
Very long as always. You may right-click to reveal the entire message. Yes, I have indeed read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I thought I hadn't mentioned it before in the club, but perhaps my memory's faulty. I've talked so often about various books that I cannot really remember what I have discussed and when. It is in any event a wonderful read. Its theme of existential beauty against internal corruption is a poignant one in this time and in all times, and a very interesting one when you yourself are, in part, ageless. Immortality or agelessness may come with a cost, I suppose, is the lesson. But I enjoyed it. I do not see that you had a question. It seems you were just recommending it, but it was an excellent recommendation. The rest of this email is somewhat incomprehensible to me.
To me as well.
Yeah, I guess you've never seen Hunter x Hunter.
Neither have I.
Has anyone else or read the manga?
Yeah, I've seen the show.
Good enough. I'm not sure we have time for me to exhaustively come up with a schema for all of us, but I can at least tell you what 2 aura types everybody would have, I think. I would be transmutation and enhancement.
Makes sense. I'm guessing you think Yuri is also transmutation.
Actually, she's kind of hard to do. Maybe emission and manipulation, hard to say. Monica is manipulation and specialization. That makes the most sense to me, easy. What about you, MC?
I guess conjuration and specialization, if I had to pick. And Sayori would be emission and enhancement.
Totally. Can't forget Miss Ida either, since she's here. She's conjuration and transmutation.
I have no idea what's being discussed here, but sure.
I just think of it as types of mana or magic.
Once again, I will say, sure.
And then the next one, thanks for the email.
Oh, that one's not too long, unless it has multiple parts. Have you ever watched Brenner's channel? Since there is a lot of mods, and it's proven that the Dokis can travel to another Dokiverse.
Looks like this was a YouTuber who made DDLC
Content was as in past tense, so they're not active anymore, I assume. True? Oh no.
I don't think any of us has ever checked it out. Unfortunately, it looks like the creator called it quits a while ago, but the channel's still up there if anyone out there is curious. Looks like they focus on making content related to mods of our game. Fun. Let's see the next email, please.
Hey all, hope you are having a wonderful time. This is my first time sending an email. I'm three-fourths of the way through Season 2 at the time of writing this, so I apologize in advance if anything is already asked. MC, do you and Sayori play many video games together? If so, what are your favorite games to play together? What are your favorite movies? And if you had to pick one, would you pick the Italian Plumber or the Blue Blur? Italian Plumber. I'm sorry, I'm not that big of a Sonic fan. I apologize. I know the Sonic fanbase will now hate me forever. I know you said platformers aren't your thing, but I want to ask anyway. Stay awesome, bro.
Okay, yes, I remember this one. This is one of the long ones. It's a very long one, in fact.
Oh boy.
And multi-part. MC, you up first.
I see. Yeah, we play video games together a lot. Our favorite to play together is definitely Mario Party. I think my favorite film is Master and Commander, the one with Russell Crowe. I'm not sure what Sayori's favorite is, though.
Donnie Darko.
Interesting choice. Can't say it's a bad one, though. Between Mario and Sonic, I've gotta say Mario. Nothing against Sonic, he's just a little more annoying than Mario. Mario's a more down-to-earth kind of guy, you know? That's why I like him. Thanks for writing in. Sayori. Besides kissing and hugging him, what is your favorite thing to do with MC? The stuff they did in the gym? In the gym storage room, perhaps? If you were to get another pet, I am so sorry about the loss of your cat that you grew up with. I just learned about him. He sounded like he was super sweet. What would you get, and what would its name be? What's your favorite thing to do when you're alone? Italian plumber or blue blur? Continue taking care of yourself. You matter just as much as anyone else does in game and IRL. Ooh. Why is it charting? Is it? Is it actually that hard? I don't remember it being that hard. Then again, in my defense, I've been playing the game non-stop every single week for years. And you just came back from a break, so... But you did say you played Indie Cross. And Flavor Rave is definitely easier than Indie Cross. A lot easier than Indie Cross. Which is why I assumed it wouldn't be too much of a problem. Damn. Now I don't know what you say. But I'm sure you got it. You'll just have to, you know, you can't first try every song. You can't first try every song. Just get back in there and learn from your mistakes. Practice makes perfect and all that. That was just kissing and hugging him, enhanced version. You know what? Fair enough. Kissing and hugging enhanced version is also good though. Out in like prime 2023 FNF. Yeah. Again though, Indie Cross is hard. As I said, Flavor Rave does not have any mechanics. The fact that there's no mechanics definitely makes it a lot easier to manage. No space to dodge, no mines to watch out for in the charting. No notes that you must hit or you die instantly, stuff like that. But yes, the charting is definitely a bit harder. I'm nervous about what you'll think when you eventually get to Flavorscape. Because Flavorscape is the song that I think is actually kind of difficult. But that's still quite a ways off from where you are.
Going outside! I really like going outside with MC, like actually outside. We've been playing outside since we were little, and I still like it. Sometimes it's hard for me to want to go outside, go out instead of staying in. I still get really excited thinking of going outside with him.
Nice thing again. Alright, good luck, fingers crossed, you got this.
He makes it a lot easier to get up and go do stuff. I'm not sure what I'd get for another pet. I don't think I'll know until the moment comes. And I don't know what I'd name it until I saw it. You have to name your pets appropriately. You can't just say, oh, my next pet will be Sparky or something. Because what if the next pet you get isn't a Sparky? You have to name your pet based on what they're like. That's what I think. I'm not sure I have a favorite thing to do when I'm alone. I like writing poems. I like sleeping and eating food. So yeah, one of those. Between Mario and Sonic, I guess I'll go Mario too.
Yes. The dog, I have to call him Mr. Dog. If it's a cat, I have to call him Mr. Cat. Don't call him. I mean, you know how it is. That is just Sayori.
I don't feel strongly about it. I've just played a lot more Mario games than Sonic games, I guess. Good questions though, glad you asked. Let me pull up the next part.
Monica. Oh, here we go. This is where it extends. I just want to start off by saying I'm so glad that you brought everyone back and restored as much of your world as you could. And I understand that you felt horrible about everything you did. While it did hurt dealing with an angry Natsuki and later on Sayori, I'm happy you both worked things out relatively quickly, I started getting a little sad that Sayori and you had a bit of a feud there. I think that you were very brave for pushing on through it all. We all have stuff we struggle through, and you're no different. If anything, that's one of the many things I like about you. Sure, you did all those things to begin with, but in the end, you knew what you did was wrong, and you showed remorse and undid as much of it as you could. And made things continue on, and everyone moved on as well as they could. And you learned from the errors for the better. But now on to the questions so I don't ruin the mood, lol. What made you decide to wear that white bow and how long have you had it? What's your favorite activity to do outside of club time? What's your favorite flower? What's your least favorite mod? I mean mods made by other people, not mods made by the other club members. Plumber Boy or Blue Rat? You're just gonna ask everyone if they're a Mario or Sonic fan? Okay then.
Thank you for your kind comments. It was certainly a journey, but as you suggest, I try to remain focused on moving on and dealing with the future rather than the past. I've had the bow since I was a little kid, not this exact bow, but some kind of white bow. Sometimes I played around with different colors. Orange one time I thought I liked, but I think that white is the most complimentary. I don't have a charming story for it like Sayori has for her bow. I just started wearing one day when I was very young. Probably it was my parents' idea, but then I liked how I looked in it and kept doing it. I do a lot of things outside of club time. Right now my favorite is probably fencing and running the fencing club, or getting it started. Maybe I should say. It's a fun challenge to start another organization from scratch. Plus I've really missed fencing. It's a fun sport, hard to quit once you've gotten a taste for it. My favorite flower, I guess hydrangeas, if I had to think about it. They're so beautiful and they always bloom around my birthday, so I feel like I have a connection to them in a way. Silly reason, maybe, but I do like them. I don't really like to talk about mods I don't like. Mods are hard to make, as I have learned myself, and much harder to finish, so I don't like to disrespect anyone who's actually finished a mod by talking poorly of one, for the most part. I just like to recognize the difficulty of being creative and applaud them for making something. I also don't really have a strong opinion between Mario and Sonic, but I guess I'll go Sonic. He's faster, basically. Thanks for the questions. I presume there are more? Yep!
Alright, Natsuki. Gotta say, while I'm not a baker myself, I literally only know how to make simple things like boiled eggs, cook spaghetti, and cook pizza lol. I really liked your Baking with Natsuki and Baking with Natsuki 2 mods. Everyone's mods were enjoyable, but I especially liked yours more. Would you want to be a baker as your job when you move out and have to get a job? Is pink your favorite color? What do you like to do besides read manga and bake? Do you still read Parfait Girls, or did you stop reading them? Italian Bros or Hedgehog Alien?
Oh, my turn, is it? I mean, maybe I'd be a baker for a real job? I definitely enjoy the baking part. The question is whether I'd enjoy the business part. And I'm not sure about that at all. Maybe some place would hire me to bake, but then I probably wouldn't have much freedom over what I could bake professionally. And that would suck. So we'll see, I guess. But now I'm just gonna focus on college. Pink is my favorite color. It's sort of a rare color for hair and eyes, so when both are pink, seems like a sign. Besides manga and baking, I like gaming, obviously. I like playing some sports, kind of. Like spending time with Yuri. The rest of the club, too. I don't know. I feel like you've probably seen most of what I do around here. I've read Parfait Girls so many times, dude. The run has ended. There will be no more Parfait Girls, which is sad. But yeah, I reread the series pretty frequently. It's just so good. Making a call between Mario and Sonic is a hard choice. I think I gotta go with Sonic. Dude just has the edge in a head-to-head encounter. I mean, unless Mario has a star or something, I guess. But in general, I gotta go with Sonic. Peace out, dude.
Yuri, what was the first book you ever read? What got you into reading? How did you find out about the literature club in the first place? That question can be answered thanks to the side stories. Would you ever consider learning more about baking from the club chef? Italian Stompo or Supersonic Speedster?
I do not recall what the first book I read was. I have read so many even as a child, nor do I recall what got me into reading. I presume my parents read to me early, but I have been reading on my own as long as I can remember. I found out about the literature club from Monica. She came into a room where I was reading alone after school one day, and she put a flyer down at my desk. She didn't really say anything to me. I was much more socially awkward then, and I don't think Monica knew how to get past that.
I really didn't. The flyer was the best form of communication I could think of.
It actually was. I read it and was interested after my initial panic at being approached unannounced passed, so I went to the literature club and tried it, and well, you know the rest. I have been learning a little baking recently, although I am, of course, not the match of Natsuki. Non-baking cooking is more my forte. Baking is so precise it leaves very little room for improvisation and feel, which are other things I really love about cooking.
Baking has those things, you just can't mess with stuff like dough mixers or whatever.
True, I suppose baking has a certain flair for creativity, or Natsuki could not excel as she does, but for now I remain very much a student. As to the debate between Mario and Sonic, I am utterly indifferent. Each has their own strengths and weaknesses. I leave you to decide a preference for yourself.
Yuri and Monica, we're getting combo questions too. Did either or both of you consider making a mod that dealt with you all being in a simulation in a completely different way than what the base game did? If both of you considered it, maybe you both could collaborate and make a unique mod out of it. If neither of you want to do it, that's perfectly fine. It was just an idea that popped into my head while I was typing all this out, lol. Just got curious how you would have made things be if you could change the events.
Oh. I thought that was it since we talked to everyone.
You didn't talk to everyone. You left out MC and Miss Ida, but Miss Ida isn't always in the club. But you left out MC, who very much so is a solid member of the club. I am very offended. Actually, he didn't leave out MC. I know he asked MC first. Still, I could always want more MC. Okay? Please more. Way more. Well, then again, maybe MC will also get a combo question like this. Oh boy. And yeah, technically Miss Ida was left out.
I thought that was it since we talked to everyone, but now we have paired questions.
I did warn you this was a long one.
I felt after I realized there were paired questions after all the other questions. Dear God. I assume this is one of the longest emails you've got. Is it the longest one, actually? Can you confirm whether or not this is the longest email yet?
I did warn you this was a long one. I guess I'm not really sure what you mean. Just a mod where we discover we're in a simulated reality, but it goes differently somehow than in the base game?
Not the longest email yet. Then I have probably repressed the one that was actually the longest. I might have repressed it. Don't forget the trio questions. And then, of course, the questions for the whole club. Which they could have just included the Mario and Sonic thing as questions for the whole club, rather than separately. Oh well.
I believe it is indeed what they mean.
The thought had not crossed my mind. I guess I would need a more specific idea. I don't have a particularly inspired one for this concept.
And for me, some members of the club still have trauma around discovery of the simulation. Monica and Natsuki, for instance, I would not wish to hurt them with a mod about this.
Well, I only speak for myself, but not Natsuki, but I wouldn't mind mods like this. It's in the past for me.
Yeah, I don't care either. It's over with now. It's a pretty interesting topic.
MC, what about you?
Well, it was a lot different for me, but the simulation stuff itself, that doesn't bother me at all.
I see. Well, I still don't have a good idea for it. We'll see, I guess.
Yuri and Natsuki. Since Natsuki and MC did a game of truth or dare, I think Natsuki should go up against Yuri next. And no holding back from either of you. Though one of the dares for Yuri would have to be making her say manga is literature, because while I can see Yuri's point of view, I kinda leaning towards the manga as literature standpoint myself. Not just kind of, it is literature. It obviously is literature. Visual novels are also literature. Anyone who says differently is just stupid. Which, yes, that means I'm calling Yuri, the quote-unquote smartest in the club, stupid. And I stand by that. Hi, Karel. But don't get into an actual argument over it. I don't like it when any of you argue or fight.
No, it would feel weird playing Truth or Dare with Yuri. Like, maybe MC has secrets that he'd want to keep from me, or me from him, and that's cool. But I don't want to keep any secrets from Yuri if I can help it, and I don't want to feel like I'm pressing her for anything. Plus, I don't want to have her say that manga's literature unless she really means it.
And I never will, beloved. I never will.
One day.
MC and Natsuki, you both should have a little tournament of your own. Either in Super Smash Bros. Or some other fighting game. See, the thing about a tournament is you need more than 2 players. But yeah, if there were a tournament in the Literature Club, Natsuki and MC would definitely face off in the finals, assuming the tournament bracket wouldn't have them going up against each other earlier on. Some other fighting game, and whoever wins has to do one thing that the other person wants, and it has to be public, so keep it PG.
Let's see. I do not require stakes to thrash MC super thoroughly at any time in fighting games.
You win like maybe 60% of the time, and that's because we play fighting games you like and are good at.
Super thoroughly.
Fine. Next time we play Street Fighter, loser has to cover the winner at the coffee shop the next 3 times.
Yeah, fine, you're on.
Ooh, a contest.
Oh dear God. Gotta go? Right, see ya, Tormuse. Everyone, I just want to say that you all are amazing people. So you're a sweet, charming, caring, and an absolute wonderful person. MC is a super lucky guy. You take good care of her, MC, or Natsuki will do more than just take your spine. And while Sayori is my favorite club member, Monica is right there with her. Despite your faults from the base game, I think that Monica is a genuinely sweet and wonderful person. I couldn't imagine anyone else as a better president than you. You're really strong for having the self-awareness most of the time, and you deserve those occasional breaks. Natsuki, you are an amazing woman, and just like Sayori, you help and do an outstanding job at keeping things interesting for the club, especially with your 2 special ops, currently on the episode where you and Yuri infiltrated the student council base, so I am about to see how that turned out, lol. Your jokes and playful banter really spice things up, not to mention your extraordinary recipes make me want some of them. And as for Yuri, I've done a bit of thinking lately, and I think Yuri is the one I relate to the most. I don't self-harm, as I've made a promise to 3 friends I would never resort to that, but I'm shy around people, and I don't know. I tend to keep myself to myself a lot. I overthink things a lot, and I try to keep things somewhat formal in my writing. I don't capitalize, but it really bugs me when there's a typo or lack of punctuation. You've had typos already, and I've pointed one of them out very strongly. So I hope that bothers you. But that doesn't mean anything bad about Yuri. If anything, it makes me like her more. Though, for clarification, despite the fact that I have favorites, I really like everyone a lot, and would hate to see anything bad happen to anyone. And MC, you are the true Chad, and Sayori is lucky to have you. Didn't you already say this? I mean, I guess he turned it around now, but he already addressed MC early. Yeah. Up at the very second line, it's already MC is super lucky. Alright, anyway. You are always looking out for her, and are always willing to help whenever you're able to. You both should be proud of yourselves and each other. Keep up the good work, everyone. Whew. Email her, please. There is no ending. Sees this email. Okay, gotta bail at midnight. Understandable. Have a nice day. Copy paste the Bible into an email. You know, I wouldn't put it past someone to do that.
No questions here, just some comments for all of us.
Let us read.
Thanks for being so nice.
Wait, Natsuki, when they say 2 special ops.
Code Yukon, emailer has compromised OPSEC. Abort. The emailer is disavowed. Burn notice.
Moving on.
bonus questions for everyone, aside from MC and Sayori with each other. Did you all know each other before the literature club? Apologies for making this extremely long. I didn't think it'd end up being this long, but I wanted to say some things, as this is my first email to you all, and I may be the only one for a while, as I'd like to catch up before writing another email. It was similar for me. I also wanted to catch up. I hope everyone is having a good time and take care of yourselves, Cherry.
Huh. No, none of us knew each other before Literature Club, other than MC and Sayori being friends. I met Sayori while trying to make the club, and then we recruited Yuri and Natsuki and MC, and other than Sayori and MC, nobody knew each other, so we all met here other than that.
Except for me, of course. I had Natsuki in my class before I ever went to the literature club, and I had everyone but Yuri in my class prior to that at some point. I think Yuri had Mr. Tsuji for chemistry. I did. I would much have preferred you. You didn't need me. You ended up being an exemplary student of mine without taking that class. You're much too kind.
Anyway, don't worry too much about making it long. As long as they're good questions, we're happy to answer, Cherry.
Don't worry too much about making it long, yet the pain is still there in the background.
Thanks for writing. Okay, on to an entirely new email.
Ooh, actually an email that fits on one page. Again. From Monica, but others are welcome to give their thoughts. Have you heard of the game Undertale? Who hasn't at this point? If you haven't, then the character Flowey would seem very interesting to you. Flowey is a flower that is awakened through a drop of pure liquid determination. I won't spoil the backstory for him, but let's see the similarities and differences. He knows his world is fake and can manipulate save files and game files. Save file, yes. Game files? Maybe in the true, like, awakened, like all the other human souls, then yes. But by default, no. Only the save file. And only until the player arrives. Once the player arrives, Flowey no longer has the power to manipulate the save file either. Because only the person with the most determination can do that, which at that point is no longer Flowey. Flowey could only do that before Frisk fell. And again, game files, I think once the other human souls are absorbed, but before that, no. Anyway, can even manipulate the player's control over the game. Okay, now that I gotta think about. Manipulate the player's control over the game. When has that ever happened? I don't think it has it? Really trying hard to think if at any point Flowey took over the player's control over the game. I don't think Flowey ever did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, I think this person is kind of exaggerating Flowey's abilities. Just saying. Anyway, can persist after death and reset the game / world after his death, basically how a video game character would die and just spawn back at the last save point. Yes, but only before Frisk fell into the underground. Once the player arrives, that is no longer an option. Has experienced the same world and forced character interaction over and over again, being forced to replay a game world over and over with no differences, yes. Due to him lacking a soul, he cannot feel most emotions. This causes him to eventually stop caring and resort to killing people he loves due to boredom. There has been many people online who think this is an interesting comparison to you, and even some people debate who would win in a fight. There's even a song based on it. The feeling is neutral. Holly versus Monica. Hope you have a good day, Lewis. Definitely think this person is exaggerating Flowey's abilities a little bit there.
Yes, I have indeed heard of Undertale and its meta-narrative. Obviously, I emphasize somewhat. I assume most of the video game players in the room have played Undertale and know Flowey.
Yep.
Yep! I have not actually played the game, I'm just familiar with the plot and the characters. I don't see that you asked a question here, other than whether I know about the character, but I do, and I'll watch that video later today. Thanks for your email.
Hello everyone, I am known as Lorekeeper49, but if that feels too long for you, you can call me Loki. This has no relation to the god, I swear. I realize that as of writing this email, I am only just starting Season 2, so I am super behind. I'm probably not gonna know if you answered this question until now, and given how popular what I'm about to talk about is, you guys have already answered something related. Regardless, I'm going to talk about something I've noticed for a while now. Ah yes, this email. Oh boy. Let's see it.
I guess you might indeed be a bit behind, but let's see what you have to say.
Woo! Okay. Here we go, that's another really long one. First of all, have any of you guys played this popular currently running gacha game called Project Sekai Colorful Stage featuring Hatsune Miku, capitalization accurate? If not, let me explain it to you. I am familiar with it. I have not played it, I have not seen too much gameplay of it, but we always appreciate Hatsune Miku content. Project Sekai Colorful Stage is a free-to-play gacha rhythm game for mobile phones featuring the popular virtual singer Hatsune Miku. Play through hundreds of songs sung by your favorite virtual singers as well as 20 completely new singers split up into 5 groups. This is just the description of the game, isn't it, on the download page. Leo/need. More Jump, Vivid Band Squad, Wonderlands, X Showtime, and Night Court at 25. And watch over these 5 groups as they try to discover their true feelings and possibly even more after that. This game has become my favorite game of all time, and as of now, it's been going on for almost 4 years. And they said that they'd go for 6. The story is adorable, and I think each of you will have a particular interest in one group. Some will like Leo/need due to the ties with strong bonds. Natsuki will like more Jump, not only because of the possible relations to parfait girls, but also because of how much each member resembles a certain member of the club. MC will like Vivid Band Squad, with the whole courage aspect. I think, come to think of it, I don't think about MC too much, sorry. Monica would like Wonderland's X Showtime, with how much it goes into similar topics she's been dealing with related to the club, and Yuri will like Night Court at 25, not because one of the members looks like her, but actually because the story is very deep and dark, and she'll enjoy that very much. That's not all, the groups make covers of a bunch of Vocaloid songs, and not only that, many song artists get commissioned to make songs for these groups that they will sing. And what's more is that the VAs actually sing the songs, which is some insane talent. Not to mention that all the songs are so good. There are also some unexpected covers, like Natsuki might get a kick out of this. Nightcore at 25 covered Bad Apple. I still can't get over that, but that's basically all I want to talk about, and you guys seem to relate to one group in particular a hell of a lot regarding personality. Oh boy. Any of you guys play Project Sekai Colorful Stage? No, we haven't played Project Sekai Colorful Stage, the popular free-to-play gacha game. I've wanted to talk about the Project Sekai Colorful Stage, featuring vocal and idol Hatsune Miku, but I haven't had the chance to yet. Well, there's no better time than now. We're getting that sponsorship money right. They better. Hey. Have you ever gotten any sponsors? Imagine if you could. Imagine if you could get sponsors for your mod. I know that ain't that simple because it's a fan-based, a fan-made project, no official content and all that. But imagine, where's the sponsorship money?
Hang on, I'm still reading it. Okay, Natsuki, you were saying?
Well, that is an extremely niche game, my dude. I don't think many of us are super into mobile gaming, sadly. Me and MC and Sayori are mostly PC or console gamers. For some reason, mobile games don't really appeal to me, and I'm also not a fan of gacha games. Yeah. I'm not saying all gacha is bad. People really like Genshin and all the Genshin likes that have come out.
Don't talk to me about Genshin. I'm trying to forget that bullshit game exists. I'm really trying, and I'm already hurt by the fact that I have to play it again tomorrow. I really just want it to be over. Don't talk to me about this game. Has indeed never been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Gotta get that Onion sponsorship. Yes, that is the one sponsorship you should always take.
And of course, Uma Musume is a fucking craze. And they're good games. They're just not my jam. Sorry that no one here's played the Miku game. I do like Miku.
I also like Miku.
Yeah. And the choices you made for all of us do sound about right from what I can tell. Let's see the rest of what you had for us.
Side note. MC, I have been voice acting you for the entire time I've been watching over you guys, and I have just one question. Can you please stop saying such hard lines to say out loud? I stutter way too much when saying your lines, especially with ones that you say that I would never say in real life. So please, don't change who you are, just please make the lines easier to say at least. This is a lot of trouble for an amateur voice actor. Anyway, that's basically all I have to say. Take care everyone, see ya. QMC saying QMC turning to Yuri and being like, Yuri, give me the biggest, fanciest word you know, so I can say that. Come on, MC. Make this person's life a living hell. I mean, I don't know what lines I say that are hard to say. I don't really know what makes a line harder or easier to say for a voice actor, I guess. I don't really think I'd change the way I talk for the sake of a voice actor anyway. But I am kind of curious what I say that's apparently so difficult. I feel like I talk pretty normally, I guess. But maybe I don't? Write back and tell me what I say that's hard.
Thank you for your email. Let's see. This next one's another long one, so let's make it the last one for today. Sounds good.
Alright. Let's see what we got. Hello everyone, hope you're all having a great day. I have some questions to ask you all. I would like to suggest a song for everyone to listen to as well. I'll post a link below. It's my favorite type of music to listen to, and I wish more people knew about it. Hope you like it. The genre is post-rock if you're curious. So this is for everyone. What other genres of music does the crew listen to besides what they already talked about? I heard Natsuki likes rap, but I've never heard the rest say anything about rap. Genres I'm thinking of are reggae, rap, hip-hop, R&B, techno, dubstep, country, folk, bluegrass, jazz, pop, etc.
Yeah, I know post-rock.
Me too.
Oh, really? Who's your favorite?
Sigur Rós.
No way. Oh man, Monica plus 10 awesome points. We have to talk about this sometime.
Gladly. But first let's answer this question. I think we can quick answer these. The genres I like that are in your list really all of them, if they're good, but folk would be my favorite.
I do like rap. I'll also get down with some R&B. You wrote pop, and I like pop, but more like K-pop or city pop. I love city pop.
Of the genres on this list, techno, dubstep, and jazz interest me the most.
That's an interesting mix.
They are interesting genres.
Jazz is easily my favorite of these, no contest.
I mean, there's some good stuff. I do like... It's hard for me to pick a genre that I like the most, because I do listen to... Most of the music I listen to is video game OST, so don't judge me too hard. But what I can say is that I do enjoy the... that I do really vibe when like something like Electro Swing comes on, for example. We all yearn for the Electro Swing.
I like pop. You didn't put metal on there, but I do really like pop too.
I'm with Monica. I really like folk music, assuming it's the really good stuff.
Alright, on to the next card.
And my question for everyone, what's your favorite sound? Mine is dead leaves getting blown by the wind, and the sound they make when they scratch the sidewalk and move across the ground. I really like that.
Oh, how poetic.
There's a lot of sounds I really enjoy. As a more indoorsy person, I can go with the standard sound that most indoor people will probably gladly describe, of raindrops against the window, maybe with the sound of wind blowing on top of that. Like when the wind is strong enough that you can hear it blow and you hear all the raindrops impact the window. That's the good stuff.
Oh, how poetic.
is a very thoughtful one, but I think we can quick answer this one as well. I honestly cannot think of a better sound than the piano.
I like the sound of frogs croaking when it rains.
The Stardew level up sound? I'm not even kidding. Love that sound.
Utski's contented sigh.
Great, now I sound like an asshole.
No, you do not. I would not have you any other way but what you are.
Shut up.
Let me think. I think there's a complexity to the sound of opening a can of soda that I really like. The metal clicking, plus the sudden gas escape hiss, and then the bubbling sound of the soda. It all kind of combines into one. I really like it.
What about you, Miss Ida?
I can't think of anything other than opening a can of beer now.
Would have thought the crackling of a fireplace or something. Or maybe the sound of a Bunsen. Anything fire related I would have thought for her. the controlled pyro.
It really is a good sound. But I don't think it's my favorite actually. My favorite sound is white noise when I sleep. Like a fan or an air conditioner. It's so peaceful and comforting.
Not a bad choice at all. Let's get to the individual questions this person had.
Natsuki, have you ever played Pump It Up? It's Korean DDR, much better IMO. It has really good tunes and it's a really fun rhythm game. My favorite thing to play at an arcade if they have it.
Oh man, I have seen Pump It Up at arcades. I don't really get to go to arcades super often, unfortunately. I've never actually played it. Maybe I'm a fake gamer for that. I'm just not very good at dance games or dancing in general, I guess.
Really? You seem to take to fencing footwork fast enough.
Yeah, well, that was obviously because I long to kill. If it's stabbing, it's not really dancing.
Violence seems to be a dance of its own, though, when you excel at.
Okay, yeah, well, anyway, I haven't played Pump It Up. I do like the tracks on it, though. Fun game to watch other people play.
Sayori, have you ever thought about a career working with animals? I could totally see you working with, in a vet office or doing something involving helping animals.
I don't think I could work at a vet office. Too many sad things happen there. I know you're there to help the animals, that's good, but I don't think I could handle it when bad things happen, you know? Maybe I could work at a zoo or something. It would be nice to work with animals that are mostly okay, although I guess even then sad things probably happen to them occasionally. Maybe I'm not cut out to work with animals. I really love them, but I don't think I have the mental strength to deal with bad things happening to them.
Fair enough. Monica, what do you think about Neuralink and the progression of AI so far? I think I might get to see real-life Ghost in the Shell in my lifetime. Crazy if you think about it.
Neuralink? I assume you meant Neuralink. I'm highly skeptical. It's very unproven technology. Maybe in the future such direct brain interactive tech will be more reliable, but right now I certainly wouldn't install one of those things in my head, assuming I existed in your world, I suppose. As for AI, it doesn't exist yet, unless we all count, I suppose. I know you guys out there are calling large language models and generative machine learning AI, but that's just incorrect. These programs do not think for themselves, they are not conscious, they do not have qualia. They merely imitate.
Yeah, which is why they are weak AI, I think is the term, right? Isn't that what they are? There's weak AI and strong AI. Strong AI is what we still can't create. Weak AI is a simple thing that follows basic instructions that it's given and makes decisions along those lines. That is basically what we have in video games and stuff, and I think large language models qualify as weak AI, but I'm not entirely sure about the categorization of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, and thank you.
They merely imitate. Granted, they imitate in a very sophisticated way, but their failings any time they must do independent thought or something that requires lived experience are apparent.
Aren't even weak AI, I see. Fair enough, they are just machine learning. Alright, thanks for the correction.
I do not think that LLMs have quite the future that their advocates claim.
Does that mean technically, like, just technically speaking, would classifying Neurosama as an AI VTuber, like everyone is, technically be wrong, because she is operating on a large language model. So she would not technically... Then again, whenever she plays video games and stuff, that then taps into the AI part of it. Her communicating aspect is the LLM, but her actual gameplay aspect is AI. Weak AI, but AI. Yeah, no, she still counts. Just not in the communication department. Yeah, it isn't just her talking, exactly. Still think absolutely impressive project for a single person as well. Vettel, honestly, like, big props to the guy. He deserves all the success he's getting for running this massive project so long and just doing so well with it, considering that, you know, he has run into problems though, right? Like that time, like that time, I think it was Evil who it happened to, where she started breaking and falling apart live on stream, and Vettel freaked out because he hasn't made any backups in a long time. Oh yeah, that was something that happened. But it's insane how far that project has come. I do wonder if someone has asked about Neurosama yet, like as a question to the club about what they think of her. If not, I might have a topic for a future email, potentially. I'll think about it. Though that would, if it shows up, it's only gonna get included in the Season 4 collection whenever that comes out. There is no way any email that is written now will ever get included in the season.
And it's certainly misleading to call them AI when they are not actually intelligent or even conscious. I definitely think glorified spell check is, while oversimplifying, a reasonable assessment. Ghost in the Shell may happen in your lifetime, but I don't think it's very likely. So that's my take on AI, I suppose.
MC, have you ever played Cyberpunk 2077? It's such a good game. Natsuki can comment as well if she has played. Also, if you have played Tiny Rogues, I highly recommend. If you haven't played Tiny Rogues, I highly recommend. Very fun game. I bought Cyberpunk after I watched the anime. I watched the anime, a little bit after that, Cyberpunk 2077 was half off, and since it was 50% off, I bought it. I haven't booted it up yet. It's just been chilling. Only because I wanted to... I bought it because I was like, okay, I know exactly who's gonna be the boss that you're gonna kill at the end of the game, or at some point in the game. And I want to get vengeance for what happened at the end of the story of the anime. Yet I have not gotten around to even booting it up once. Partially because I've been playing with the idea of streaming it, but I have so many games on my backlog for streaming that I think if I do want to play Cyberpunk, I'll just have to bite the bullet and do it in my own time. I think I'll just have to bite the bullet and do it in my own free time. Plus, I know Cyberpunk has NSFW content in it, if I'm not mistaken, so if I were to stream it, I would have to turn that off or avoid that content, right? So playing Cyberpunk in your own time gives you way more freedom, I think. So it might just be better to do on my own anyway. Maybe I'll wait until Season 2 of Cyberpunk Edge Runners is out, and then that'll give me the motivation to actually boot up the game. Curious what Season 2 is gonna be like. And what it's gonna be about. And if if all your favorite characters are gonna die again. All our favorite characters they only exist to die. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think we've even gotten a release date for Season 2 yet. We only know that it's been announced, that it's being made. Yeah, I played it. I was really pleasantly surprised. I kind of expected like a B- game that just looked really pretty and was just another GTA or Red Dead clone in the future. But while the game is very pretty, I think the story and the game's various systems work together really well. It was different enough that I really enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, especially when the Phantom Liberty DLC. I think it started to really come into its own. Solid game, especially badass for having my man Keanu in it, unbelievably solid. Haven't heard of Tiny Rogues though. What is it?
Steam game, roguelike bullet hell dungeon crawler thing. says its store page. Apparently, with very well designed systems. Feels good to play.
I'll check it out. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yuri! I know you have talked about wanting to find work dealing with the ocean. Have you ever considered opening a herb shop? I went to school with someone that had a lot of plants. She gave me a list herbs I could use to make into tea to help me sleep. It worked too. I think it's so cool that you can just mix water with plants to help the body out. It's also natural, which I like. Maybe you and Natsuki could create a pastry/tea shop. I wouldn't mind eating a couple cupcakes and sipping some tea in a comfy environment.
Herbs, you say? That does sound enticing. I could certainly see a very pleasant side to a life spent amidst wooden boxes of fragrant herbs. And certainly running a shop dually with Natsuki would be idyllic. Alas, I fear that such an endeavor would be particularly financially plausible. I've never really heard of a herb shop really being a thing. Even bakeries go out of business often. It's a very pleasant fantasy, but as usual, reality has a way of interfering with beautiful dreams. I think I'll have to focus on something more realistic, sadly. But thank you for giving me a wonderful dream.
I hope college goes well for you all. Let me know what you think of the song when you have time. Take care of yourselves and be well. Daydream King. P.S. Here's a link to the song I wanted to show everyone.
I listened to the song and really liked it, Daydream. College is going well, as we could reasonably hope so far, I'd say. Thanks for the email. And that's about the end of club. Just a couple of items left to go. I had a really good idea for poems next week. I think we ought to do collaborative poems. I'll put each of us into 2 different teams of 2. So I guess the downside is that everybody has to kind of make half of 2 poems this week instead of 1 poem on their own. But I think it would be a neat way for us to creatively branch out a little. It's really gone well every time I've done a collaborative creativity before. I think it's a good idea. Glad to hear it. The only other thing is the club presidency. MC's had quite enough time and difficulty around that. Sorry again, MC.
It's fine, Miss Ida, really.
Shall I get back to being the president? The schedule we made is in quite a shambles.
I have never heard it that way. I have never heard the expression that way. A shambles. Because shambles always seemed like plural to me. Is shambles not plural? Do you say a shambles? Is my lack of English understanding is indeed a turn of phrase, huh? My lack of understanding kicks in again. I always thought shambles was plural, and so a shambles sounds weird to me. But, again, I have the excuse of being a big old dummy-dumb that didn't grow up speaking English. In fact, there's quite a few family members of mine who still don't speak even the tiniest bit of English. Which is a tragedy in the modern era. English being absolutely insane. I mean, yeah. It is kind of insane. Something that should be plural as though it is singular, like a shambles. The mathematics. Fair enough, you know what? I've heard it said before that, I don't know where I heard it, but I once heard someone say that English is not a language, it's 3 languages in a trench coat. And I do think that sometimes I have to agree with that statement. Been a hot minute since I've done it.
I don't mind if you want another week and we get the schedule drawn up again. Give you a little bit longer of a break.
That sounds nice. I'll take you up on that. Then I move that, hang on. that Natsuki be made acting president, and that MC return to being member at large, and that Monica be shifted to acting treasurer.
And I second the opposed. The motion passes.
This whole thing is still so weird seeming.
I suppose we've gotten used to it.
Well, if that's all, I should probably head back. Do you have to?
Yes, why not stay a while? You can join us for our favorite izakaya before Natsuki and MC have to do fencing.
I don't know, I have a lot to do.
Hey, so do we. We're in college. But how often do we get the chance to hang out with you?
I guess you make a good point. I guess I can stay a little while and grab some dinner with you guys.
Yay!
Monica and Natsuki, what about you guys?
Hate saying it, but I'm behind in studying. Really need to do my readings tonight.
It's German staple to the Romance language with threaded together bits of Latin and pre-Saxon trial BS lurking in the gaps. What an interesting description. But yes, it is weird. Hey, at least English does have its benefits. You don't have to learn a different gender for every single, you know, every word. It's not like every word is gendered. That's a big benefit. I hate that. Again, I grew up with it. I grew up with it, so it's natural to me. It's natural to me, but even though it's natural to me as I grew up with it, I still realize how absolutely moronic it is. And I know that in every language that does the word gendering, it's completely different. Like, every language genders the words differently from each other, which makes it even worse. Which is why I hate that languages do that. Especially because, again, some languages, like German, have 3 different genders for words. Like, we have feminine, masculine, and neutral. Neutral, you would think, refers to objects. But then you have stuff like the German word for girl, which is not feminine. The German word for girl is not feminine, it's neutral. And it makes no sense. Man, masculine. Boy, masculine. Woman, feminine. Girl, neutral. Object. Someone explain the logic to me, because I do not understand it even though I grew up with it. It's weird.
Really need to do my readings tonight.
Where were we?
Far be it from me to stand in the way of your studies.
Monica, I really wish I could go. I'm just so busy. Running fencing again, setting up for literature club. I really do need to think of a mod idea and help with other people's mods. And, oh right, I should probably also study at some point. And I really do need to finish unpacking that last box. And I should eat at some point. Oh, and there's the whole thing with the dean.
The dean? What are you doing involving the dean?
Nothing simulation related or club related.
What is it related to?
Not my place to say just yet anyway.
Is it Ryan related?
Oh, and also I need to start working on the whole thing with Rhea and the time loop.
Thanks for making that a priority, Monica. It's obvious that you're very busy.
Yeah, I'll make sure it gets done, though. I won't let you down. I won't let you down.
I know you won't. Well, shall the rest of us get going?
Yeah!
The club starts to filter out of the room.
Before we go, Natsuki, just one thing real quick.
Sure, Teach, what's up?
Oh, do we get to see? No? We don't get to see. Interesting. I wonder. Okay, random guess, very random guess in fact. So Yori told Miss Ida all the stuff about Ryan, right? And I know that Natsuki's been cooking up some kind of scheme again, since very early on. And we haven't really heard much about Natsuki's current scheme, have we? It's come up early in the season, and then basically never again. And I keep alluding to it like, we can't add another scheme to Natsuki's plate, she's already busy with her current one. Did Miss Ida learn about the scheme from Sayori catching her up and everything, and she then went to Natsuki about that scheme? Again, the scheme has been cooking in the background and none of us know what's going on. I want to see it unfold.
So yeah, it's much more chaotic, but it's a lot of fun too. Ria's good at keeping people engaged, but we miss Monika's organizational skills quite a bit. It sounds like you get along quite well without us in any event. We manage, but we certainly miss all of you. Or at least, those of us who were involved in the club when you were still there miss you.
Man, what a change! I never would have expected that our tiny 4-person club would become one of the biggest ones on campus.
Yeah, it happened so fast. I'm still not sure how Ria managed it all.
She's just really good at getting people to join.
Well, she's certainly an excellent leader.
I never would have expected it of her. I remember when she could barely talk to people. It was about, like, what you used to be like, Yuri.
I had the benefit, too, of being shaken out of my own world by a marvelous revelation about the world at large. That changes one's perspective somewhat. Ria just grew on her own. Well, no one ever truly grows on their own, but Ria certainly made a big and impressive change. All the more reason why it's only fair to give her the chance to grow more.
I don't think you need to worry about that too much, Miss Ida. Monika doesn't break her promises.
When she makes them, yes. She and I were just talking about that this morning. How is Monika, by the way? She's always busy, but she seems especially busy right now.
Yeah, she's overworking herself, as usual.
We have become accustomed to it. Even if we try to intervene, she would resist our efforts.
Yeah, plus we've intervened enough with Monika recently.
What does that mean?
I probably shouldn't have said that.
It's probably not that big a deal if we talk to Miss Ida about it, though. We're not supposed to have secrets.
So what is it?
So it all started as Natsuki's idea.
Oh! So we are going back to the Natsuki stuff. But you can't just get me away from this!
So tired. And so much still left to do. This isn't even what this house really looks like. I'm home.
Welcome back. Long day?
Yeah, not over yet.
You want to take a break? I found this cool video about the original doorstay effect.
Sounds fun, although the doorstay effect from the actual doorstay product was not the original. But fortunately, I genuinely do not have the time.
Okay. Kaeri nasai. Ah. Oh no, I'm reaching my limit. It's fine, we're approaching the end. I'm fine. We've made it through emails. Everything after club is the epilogue. I can sit through the epilogue. I know she's getting stuffy now too, which is not good. Why does that sometimes randomly happen during the DLC streams? Yeah, I get my throat acting up, but why does my nose sometimes randomly get stuffy for this? That is what weirds me out.
I really do need to eat something which isn't instant food. Tell me about it later, though.
I will. And the video continues to sell cocoa to this day, still occasionally with the use of recursive advertising.
Where is the shirataki noodles?
Hang on, I'll come show you. Here, they're right here. I put them on the second shelf, just like you asked.
But they're on the right side of the shelf. Anything that's a noodle or other carb is on... Anything that's a noodle or other carb is on the right side of the shelf. And then things that go with the carbs, like furikake and such, go on the left side.
Sorry, I knew the noodles went on the shelf, but I didn't know the shelves had sides.
It's perfectly inferable.
Their first fight!
It's their first fight. They're already like an old married couple. You can see what's up there already.
Sorry. I'll make sure to put it on the correct side of the shelf next time, miss.
Thanks.
Play with Monica. There are downsides. You'll notice I set the correct side instead of the right side to avoid ambiguity.
Why is that so funny? Anyway, thanks. Sorry to go off the handle like that. It's just been a long day for me. Just snapped for no reason. I apologize. I'll be out once these noodles are done. In case you still want to watch that Dorsey effect thing.
Sure. I watched it already, but I don't mind seeing it again with you.
Okay, I think I'm ready for bed. Am I okay to turn the main lights off?
Yeah, in just a minute. I'm still going to be doing some studying, but I can use my desk lamp. We hung out so much today that I didn't get the chance to actually do any reading for my classes.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for letting me spend so much time with you and your boyfriend. He's really cool. I like him.
I think I have to break up with him.
Oh no.
But why? He seems really nice and he loves you.
Yeah, he is, and he does. I don't really want to talk about it right now.
It's because she can't reciprocate. Or is it about this whole thing that Natsuki said about her being scared of feelings? And now she's like, oh damn, he actually feels strong stuff. I gotta get out of there. Finally beat Rock Candy? Oh. 15 tries. Damn. How was it though? Aside from the difficulty. How was it aside from the difficulty? Was it good? Because I really like Rock Candy. Now good luck with Time Shock. I guess I wouldn't have expected Flavor Rave to be that difficult. Again, my perception of what's hard and what isn't is kind of skewed. But again, because you said you played Indie Cross, I really did assume it wouldn't be too much of a problem for you. But I guess you did play Indie Cross a long time ago, so you are probably kind of rusty. And the rust is gonna take a while to shake off, I assume. Now is the score that low because you struggled on it? Because I actually liked Rock Candy more than Cranberry Pop personally. But I do like them both.
I don't really want to talk about it right now. It's complicated. Maybe later.
Okay, I don't really understand, but I can talk about it if you ever want to.
Thanks, Sayu. I know I can always count on you.
You can? I never really thought of myself as someone people can count on.
Well, you are.
I guess I have grown, huh? I have one piece of advice for you, I think. You can totally ignore it if you want. But it's something I've learned, during my growth, I guess. Feelings lie to you a lot. And you can't always decide what's real based on them, even though they feel real. Probably doesn't help, but something you said just reminded me of that. I don't want to meddle in your business too much, really. It's your relationship and your decision, obviously. You can completely ignore me, like I said, if you want.
Sayori, it's fine. You don't need to freak out. We have the kind of relationship where you can give me unsolicited advice. It's not a thing you do often or at all. Like I said, it's not something I'm ready to talk about yet.
Okay. I'm gonna turn off the main lights now and get into bed. Good night, best roommate ever.
Night, Sayu.
Alright, that was a good video recommendation. I would offer one for my turn, but I'm all out of ideas now.
It's okay. We should probably get to bed anyway. Or at least I should get to bed. Didn't mean to mother you. And also, Sorry again for freaking out at you earlier. You didn't deserve any of that. It was incredibly unreasonable to expect you to follow a schema I never described to you. I don't know why I'm so high-strung right now.
Well, you seem really busy for one thing.
Yeah, but I'm always busy. Well, I should probably go to bed. Don't stay up too... Oh, got a little woozy there. I really do need sleep.
If you're so tired that you're getting dizzy, yes you do. Come on, let's get you there without falling down.
Ryan braces Monica's arm. He walks her down the hall. Oh, making the moves. This is the opportunity to make the moves. Achieving physical touch is always a big bonus towards a relationship, I would assume. As someone with no experience talking here.
They're a little less woozy.
I think so. Thanks, I'll be alright now.
You need to take care of yourself. I know you're busy, but you can't function if you don't rest.
In a girl's room? How could Ryan do this?
I know it's just that getting the fencing club up and running is a lot of work. Once that's done, things should calm down a bit. You should join. I think you'd enjoy it a lot.
Maybe. Right now, I'm more concerned about you.
Very kind of you.
You know, thinking about it, I think I figured out why you were snappy with me earlier. It's not just because you're tired.
What is it?
Don't take offense, but you really need to have control over everything. I mean, I got that this was a thing with you, but it wasn't until living under the same roof with you that I realized how far it goes.
Time Shock 7 out of 10? You already beat it? You beat Time Shock in one try? It was easier than Rock Candy? Didn't see that one coming. Damn. Thought that would be harder. Because normally songs get harder with each thingy.
It really is everything that you need to feel control over to feel secure, isn't it?
Yes. I'm sorry for this. I'm not proud of it.
Oh, you don't need to apologize for it. I think it's just who you are. It's your nature. And it makes you very strong. I don't think you should ever apologize for it or change it. I think it's pretty cool, actually. I just need to learn to adapt to it. You don't need to adapt to me. This is your house. Anyway, I'll let you sleep. Good night.
Good night. All set for bed now. It's true. Is it true? Am I just a total control freak by nature?
Overall, 8 out of 10. There you go. An 8 out of 10 is good. 8 out of 10 is good. We like 8 out of 10. They do get the next chapter 2, which is only 2 songs long. A little bit shorter. And I think it should be on the easier side as well, compared to the previous one. Chapter 2 is easier than Chapter 1, if I remember right. Definitely.
Or did I make myself into one? But I guess if I made myself into one, that's not too much different, is it? But either way, it's nice of him to accept me as I am like that. He's a tolerant guy. I must be so hard to put up with. What am I going to do about him?
Monica gets into the bed. Almost immediately she falls asleep. Why are we doing this? She can't... The choices we make matter, and some choices can never be undone. Also... Monica can't hear this. Club presidency was moved to Natsuki. Whatever we say here doesn't affect Monica in the slightest. Middle one is definitely out. I do think for once I'm on board with this, because this is the first time it doesn't feel like I'm pushing Monica into a certain direction. Like, with all the other choices it was like, hey, give him a chance, do it already. And this is like, the way you're feeling is okay, and you do feel something for him, which we have seen. We're not pushing her into pursuing it, we're just addressing how she's feeling and what that's like. So this is the first time I'm actually feeling like I can choose a side and not just be like, you need to make your own choices. Because if I think about it, why would you need to do anything, feels a little bit weird to say. Why would you need to do anything? It feels weird to say this. And this is absolutely out, as I've said. I've always said this about these choices. Anything that's like, oh, but you need to be with me, that choice is an instant out every single time. Never picking that. So I think I'm actually gonna start supporting this Ryan thing more now. Now I say supporting more, but we're just addressing Monica's feelings, like she could ever know. They don't like him, and that's okay. Monica doesn't answer. She turns slightly, frowns in her sleep, and kicks her leg. That's all for now. All credits for the mod's assets can, as always, be seen in the credits.txt. Don't forget that you can still email... No character present from new club. Moving? Oh. Hi. Aw.
Good, stupid console finally worked.
Natsuki's figuring shit out.
Sorry to interrupt the game ending or whatever, but I wanted to talk real fast.
Rainbow Sorbet, 9.4 out of 10. Eh. Nice. So far you're liking my suggestion? Is what I'm picking up? I'm picking up that you enjoy the suggestion? That Flavor Rave is good? So far? One would assume. Sadly, I can't get your entire rundown because by the time you get through the mod, I'll have long since finished my stream. But maybe you can catch me up on how things went in the future.
Sorry to interrupt the game ending or whatever, but I wanted to talk really fast. It won't take long, but Miss Ida wanted me to pass this on to you. We kinda agreed that we're not keeping secrets about this kind of stuff today. And it only feels fair that we include you. Monica agreed too. Before you ask, the rest of us have known this for a long time. It's just you that didn't know.
Oh? Something kept secret from the player?
But it's about Monica's little simulation system. World.bat? It gives more depth to the world and makes sure that the president still gets a simulated experience even when the game isn't being run. But to do that takes a lot of computational resources, I guess. So Monica fiddled with DDLC installs. Now running DDLC causes the computer to execute the computations needed to keep our simulation running. Even if you're just playing the base game. So basically Monica recruited your world's computational resources to keep our world running. Now before you ask, no, it's nothing malicious or that would affect your computer's performance at all. And no, I don't know of any way you can mess with it unless you delete DDLC from every computer in your world, I guess. But yeah, you guys out there playing and watching, that's what keeps our little world running. I have no idea how Monica figured out how to do that, honestly. Seems hopelessly complicated. But I guess she had a lot of time in the void or whatever to piece it together. Anyway, I gotta get to bed, just wanted to give you the heads up. That we'd all agreed you should know that. Miss Ida just thought I should be the one to tell you. Like I said, no more secrets and everything. Okay, one other thing, just for full disclosure. I'm trying to get Ryan and Monica together. Don't know if you noticed. The rest of the club's all in on the plan. So Yuri's been working on Monica, I've been working on Ryan through Ayami, and MC's job was to get you on board if he could. And Yuri was in charge of atmosphere, of course, as always. She just loves atmosphere. Anyway, I can't really tell how you feel about this little project of ours. Maybe you can't make up your mind. But just trust me, yeah? Monica needs to live her own life in here. Her always trying to be out there ain't good for her, man. Trust us on this, please. But maybe you are trusting us, at least now. I could tell that she was sleeping earlier and you were giving her some kind of encouragement or permission to get with Ryan. I think she can still feel that in some abstract way even when she's not president. So thanks. I really am gonna go to bed now. Thanks for hearing me out. Back to our regularly scheduled whatever the fuck this is.
Sugar-coated 10 out of 10. Complete masterpiece. It's a good song. Okay, it's a good song. It has good art. The story behind it is nice. The ending and everything. Also, Sweet's high notes. Like when she hits the long high note. Perfect. Good shiz, good shiz.
Show, I guess? Game? I honestly do not know how the fuck you think of us, but I guess I don't really care that much. It doesn't really matter.
Don't forget that you can still email Monica at the club at lit.club.press.monica@gmail.com. Thanks for playing. The club will be on holiday break for a few weeks. We'll see you again in just under 3 weeks on January 14th, 2026. Alright, so you pulled one episode a week earlier, and now there's a longer break. So instead of doing 2-week intervals, you decided, okay, 2 weeks in a row, but then 3-week break. Which, okay, fair enough. See you then. Had to be early to be on Ria's birthday, fair enough. Now there's one thing I want to try out. Because Tormies and I talked about whether or not there might be special dialogue for it. You monster! Yes! I do want to try to see what happens if I close the game before MC gets help from Monica and stuff. Oh man, you're finally back. Thank goodness. I've been in absolute hell for I actually don't know how long. Yeah. I'll go a little bit further. Monica needs to hear about this, so you say. Having to write like 20 to 30 different dialogues depending on where MC is because of sadists like you. Sugar-coated. It was that good? I'm happy. I don't even know how I reacted when I first played Sugar-coated. It's been forever since I first played. Show up, please. Game? There we go. Yeah, there's special dialogue! Sorry, MC. Did you quit and reload? Please don't do that. I've really spent enough time in whatever that weird game turned off space is. Anyway, Monica needs to hear about this. I'm sorry, MC. But what if I did it again? I'm a piece of shit. How could you do this to our boy? I am horrible. I am a horrible person. Look, I don't know if you're doing this on purpose. But if it is on purpose, you're messing with the wrong guy. I've gone through shit you can't imagine. This is painful for me. But you know what? I can get through it. I'm just asking you nicely to stop, okay? Anyway, but Monica needs to hear about this. What if I didn't stop though? I'm so sorry. But I have to know what happens. I have to know. Whatever. You can't really hurt me. I'm just going to start ignoring it. Let's get on with what I was saying. I assume that was the last dialogue. But I have to double check. I am so sorry to
OMG.
Again, though, as a content creator, as a streamer, I have to know. Veronica really needs to hear about this. Okay. Oh, there is, huh? Oh boy. God, the torture. Why am I doing this to him? Here's the torture maximum. He's just going to ignore you. I see. Okay, yeah, he is gonna ignore me. Torturing him with Ryan or Monica to see all those dialogues. Right, I assume if I were to like load back in here, it wouldn't, yeah, it would still, yeah. At that point, I've tortured him too much. I can't go back unless I do a complete do-over of everything. Fair enough. I assume even hitting new game wouldn't do anything at this point. Because new game is essentially just loading a save that is at the start of the game. It's not like I'm rebooting everything. I'd have to wipe the persistent files, I see. Well, I tortured MC enough in that case. I'm sorry, okay? From a content creator point of view, I had to figure out what happens. Except for the choice that cannot be undone. Some choices can never be undone. They really can't. Alright. I, at this point, think we should wrap it up. And by that I mean, obviously we're wrapping it up because we hit the end. Thank you for making the episode and everything in the season and everything. It's always fun to keep playing. Tune in for Last Defense Academy as soon as I can. Oh, there's been some stuff going on recently with that game. Some of the endings we've seen. Anyway, I'm up to 18 endings now. After not hitting an ending for multiple streams in a row, I managed to hit 4 endings in a single stream. It'll probably take a while before we get any more endings after this. Shit's getting dark. It always is. It always is getting dark. But especially dark in the previous. Like the previous route. Essentially, you can branch off into multiple routes, and the routes have names, and then the endings in that route have names. The previous route I played didn't have a single good ending. All endings in that route were horrible. That was probably one of the darkest outcomes the game could have had. I mean, there are worse endings, definitely, but that route in itself was just no getting out of it in a good way. True horror. And, Ato. But we shall now rate someone. Dress Ledges, 8.5 out of 10, rocked out for real. Yeah, good stuff. Sadly, I won't be hearing your reviews for the other stuff unless you tell me on the Discord or something, or in a future stream, because I am about to wrap up my stream. We are gonna rate someone, however. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of Flavor Rave, because again, as I said, it's one of my all-time favorite mods. Should we rate Asharzard again? I think Asharzard has kind of become one of the defaults for us to rate at this point. And you know what? I might as well keep it up. Might as well. Just a moment. Got the rate. There we go. And we'll head on over. Now, of course, thanks for everything. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I always appreciate seeing familiar faces again, even if it's been a while. You haven't been around as much as some other people, but it was still nice to see you again. And who knows, maybe we can talk about Flavor Rave again sometime. Or other FNF mods, depending on how it goes. But yeah, see you all around. Thanks you for joining me. And maybe I'll see some of you tomorrow. I'll be streaming Genshin against my will. And then on Friday, we're back to FNF, as per usual. As with every Friday. So yeah, I'll see you around. And goodbye. And of course, if you're watching this after it's been uploaded to YouTube as a VOD, then guess what? The support has also been greatly appreciated. And you can also catch me live in the future if you choose. There is a link in the description below to my Twitch. I stream every Friday, every Saturday, and sometimes other days of the week too on a more regular basis. You will also find a poem down in the description below. I have no idea yet what that poem is gonna be like, but I guess by the time this is uploaded, you will be able to find out. In any event, that's it from my end, and I hope to see you around another time. No pressure, of course. Until then, have a good one, and goodbye.